characters.
Oh, they did they did a season of Law and Order Los Angeles, and that's what it
Okay,
was.
okay.
Wait, why do we have a sub
And they
goal?
canceled it after a season.
There was a episode of SVU where I watched and I was like, hey, that's Skeet Ulrich. And I was like, it was the crossover. And but I was like, are these characters from a spinoff that I don't know about?
Yeah. Yeah, they are. It's so stupid.
Hey, can I ask a question?
What's
What was
up?
this sub goal banner that just popped up?
We
Did we trigger that?
No. It's triggered every time we get 10 subs.
It says our goal. We're at 0 of 10 right now.
Yeah, because we hit 10 and then it resets. So,
but like Twitch automatically put that on, or we put that on.
I'd do it.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I think I turned it on months ago, and I've seen it pop up here and there. Okay. Hey, what's up?
Come on,
final.
Guys, let's hit that goal.
What's up, the final Rick? How's it going? First time watching us since 2008. I mean, we didn't even look like that. I'm not saying we physically didn't look like this. I'm saying like our stream was god awful in 2008. That's
the irony. The production was god awful, but we were on point.
Yeah, we were at the top of our game.
Damn it.
Now the tables have turned.
Prince, you're old too. How about some trailers? You want to watch some trailers?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's watch some trailers together.
Let's do it. Woo!
I haven't watched
did y'all restart y'all's PS5s?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, we sure did.
As soon as I found out, I did that.
Y'all did PS1, right?
Of course.
Wait, this was spoilers for Horizon?
Huh? No.
What is this? Oh, okay. This is that big PlayStation trailer.
Yeah.
Contains spoilers for everything.
I don't know what this is because you won't shut up.
This is trailer talk.
No, it's trailer watch and then talk.
Oh, you are a lying sack of shit.
It's about friendship, dog.
Oh my god, is this the Cardigans? Are they playing the Cardigans?
The Cardigans.
So.
Is this that song? Is this? Someone tell me.
I think they're called the Cranberries.
Is it the Cranberries?
Cranberries. Yeah.
Okay, I knew it was one of the C's.
Well, I don't know. It sounds like a cover or something.
No, I think it's just like a slowed down.
Who are the Cardigans? I think that's a sweater or something.
Yes, it is. That is what a cardigan is.
It's about fantasy. Is it about fantasy though?
I like the juxtaposition of Resident Evil 1 zombie to Resident Evil 8. That was pretty nice.
This
I
is
hear the
definitely
ending to this trailer is pretty bullshit.
Or a remix?
Ooh, look at this! Look at all these games they've just left out to die.
We got half a second of Metal Gear Solid 4.
Also, the rest in peace, the Cranberries singer passed away years ago.
They end on fucking Bloodborne just to fucking tease people.
Yeah,
they're gonna announce at the Game Awards that they bought From Software, and we're all gonna scream.
No, they're not gonna buy it.
Oh, is that official?
No, well, it's not official, but like Katakawa has told Sony that you have to buy all of us, or you don't get a deal at all. Because Sony just wants FromSoft.
I think Sony
Katakawa
does.
has a lot of stuff.
But why would Sony not want to buy all of them? They're like all anime stuff, right?
It's a lot of anime. It's live action production. There's music. It's multimedia.
But Sony does all of that.
Are
you saying they can't afford Katakawa?
No, they can afford it. But Katakawa, they're not going to let their subsidiaries be sold off.
I mean, it's a bold move to be like, hey, if you want us, come and get us. You got to take all of us.
The Halo trailer for you, Chris Davis.
I barely acknowledged it was a Halo trailer.
What the fuck is this?
Yes, this is the secret level.
Shh. We gotta listen.
I don't know what game this is for, though.
This better not be.
You'll find out.
Oh, The Outer World? They made an episode about The Outer Worlds?
Yeah.
The Outer Worlds 2. Remember that got announced?
Shut up. That is not about The Outer Worlds 2.
It is. It's
just Outer Worlds. It's just,
No,
I mean,
not. You motherfucker! The trailer says Outer Worlds 2.
But there's nothing about the Outer Worlds that even exists yet.
Well, you know what? What about Concord? There's an episode of Concord that doesn't exist at all.
But it existed before.
Yeah, I know, but I'm telling you, this is our first look into what is going to be Outer Worlds 2 stuff. The trailer says Outer Worlds 2.
What is this? This looks like some JRPG shit.
This is Fantasia.
Oh, this is that
Ryan
mobile
now.
game that's finally coming to
Actually
Switch or
getting a
something?
proper
I don't know.
fucking release on.
Come on, Nick,
Everything
you
it
can do
should
it.
be.
Who's the developer? Who's the director? You could do it.
Wait. Is this RPG Factory?
No.
No.
I have no idea then. I have no idea.
Just,
It said it at the literal start of the trailer.
I wasn't paying attention, apparently.
Look at it this way, bro. You give me hope.
this is Sakaguchi.
Sakaguchi?
But you weren't planning on leaving any of us behind, were you, Leo?
Chaos.
Creator of Final Fantasy. I mean, you're a Final Fantasy 9 stan, and I feel like this is like kind of like a throwback a little bit to like the days of Final Fantasy you miss.
I mean, I don't know if I'd go that far, but maybe I'd have to see more of it. I don't know. I certainly wasn't getting that vibe, but I don't necessarily not trust you when you say that.
You gotta watch. You gotta pay attention to it. Come on, dog. Fantasia is like,
Them Widowmaker.
What? Hit them till they
Widowmaker,
don't get
Black
up.
Widow,
Why-
you
Why would they
jerk.
make Black Widow a sniper? Like, isn't that too
They
on the nose
made-
for Overwatch?
They made Black Widow Widowmaker. is
I
what
know,
I'm
that's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Oh, I'm talking
Okay,
about
well, that sounds about right.
Brad's acting like out of line. He doesn't know. He doesn't care. I don't know why I'm responding to him.
Why do you say that?
Yeah.
What?
Where
Why
do
do
you
I
say
say
that?
what?
Rivals looks cool. I'm
It
the
does
one who
look cool.
put the I'm the one who put the trailer on the playlist. Jerk.
You're a jerk.
I need this game to be good.
Damn it, Earl.
Misunderstood you. It sounded like you were giving me some of that Brad sass, the classic Brad sass.
Hey, quick shout out to Sonji and Damn It Earl for subscribing.
Thank you.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Damn it, Earl. I like that name.
Subscribe train.
we got a fucking
I played a demo of this a while back. I can't remember if I talked about it or showed this. I don't remember. But this is the sequel to Lonely Mountain Downhill, which is a game it's kind of like a Zen game for me. I play it every now and then, just kind
I
of
drafted
vibe
this in
out,
my
I
league,
suppose.
yeah.
Well, I don't think it's coming out this year, but
Supposed to be.
or are you already drafting for? Wait, okay, first of all, it's December 3rd. Got bad news for you. Second of all, I thought you meant next year.
2024. There's still hope.
Apparently this is an old trailer. I believe it's officially 2025 now. You should check on your leagues, dog.
I will. Thank you for letting me
I
know.
waved the white flag today. I think I've officially thrown in the towel. I'm fucked.
Yeah.
This was the one I was gonna bid on.
Thank
but I
you,
decided,
officially, Paul.
What's
That's
the
very kind
point?
of you.
This comes out this week, I believe. So it's too late.
Oh, we got another sub. Yeah, we got sub goal.
Yes.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
And these are all
Shh, come on, I'm listening.
officially Paul. That's a great name too. Paul.
The best roguelike game ever made.
Bullshit.
And y'all are just talking over it. God.
Sounds like garbage.
It looks like garbage. This looks like an old game. Boo.
This has been in early access for a long time, and it's hitting 1.0.
This is Caves
week.
of Cud or
Yeah.
Cud or whatever.
Yeah, Caves of Cud.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind.
This is one I was gonna pick up, and then I
I didn't
decided wait,
recognize.
people still need games, and they have more money than me. So it's really me just giving them points. If this gets a score, it'll be really good. But it's too late now, anyways. Yeah, it's a roguelike, like an actual rogue, like a Dwarf Fortress, like actual roguelike, kind of semi roguelike, kind of.
You seek the spindle, deathly spire of light
It does like the 10,000 years of history bullshit or whatever. The
Yeah.
Dwarf
Gangbang,
Fortress
yeah.
does.
It is a classic roguelike. But like with the cool art style, like it used to be ASCII art, but now it's like actually kind of a cool look. All right, y'all ready for this?
What is this?
I was kind of ranting about this earlier today when I was like, yo, why was this launch trailer all cutscenes? And Jagger was like, no, it's called a story trailer. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's called a launch trailer. And he threw a link that was said, no, it's called a story trailer, but it was the official PlayStation channel. And I'm like, yeah, they're not calling it a launch trailer because it's the PlayStation channel. So they renamed it to story trailer. But everywhere else, it's called the launch trailer.
Oh, jeez.
Why did Sony change it to story trailer? I don't get
Because
it.
they're
it's
not
not
launching
launching
the
until
game
next
until
June
next
for them.
year. It's not a launch trailer for them.
Oh.
But it might as well be a story trailer because it's like all fucking cutscenes. I'm
So we're
convinced it's
saying this
Telltale
isn't a real
game.
game.
Well,
That's
I
what
sure wish they
Brad
would've-
is trying to imply.
I'm saying, how would I know because they have not shown more than 2 unbroken minutes of this game?
I believe that this is probably not a real game.
No, I want it to be a real game, but I'm saying they have not shown it well. They have not shown it well.
They haven't shown it well because there's nothing.
I want to
show
believe.
well.
I'm told that this game's gonna have cool puzzles and shit.
Okay, first of all, there has definitely. I feel like there's
like sequences.
I-
Linear though.
Oh, who the hell was excited about first-person whip combat? Like that
Me,
just
damn
sounds-
it.
No. You can't think of it that way. Think about like Hitman combat. Like this is like a stealthy kind of game where you're like
Looks
sneaking around
engaging.
in
Come on.
environments.
This is giving me extreme 007 Bloodstone vibes.
You
and
say that every time. Stop it. If this is not better than Bloodstone,
It's
then
true.
this is a tragedy. It's not. It's going to be far better than Bloodstone. Stop it. That game is actual trash.
Okay, go fuck yourself.
It doesn't look very bad. It's just a lot of cutscenes. This
Yes,
stuff
'cause
looks cool. Puzzles.
do you know
The
why?
puzzles
Do you know
have
why?
to be good.
They do, but do you know why they're doing this? Because this is when it comes to Indiana Jones, this is the shit that sells. People want the
That's
story.
not
People
true.
want.
No one's
That
gonna
is
buy this
true.
game if it's just a bunch of story. And the proof is that no one saw that last fucking movie. I'm
But
telling
like this
you,
is gameplay, like gunfire and puzzles, and,
And
it's just
the-
not. But just
is
because
not
there's
like
gameplay.
20% gameplay, they need to show like a demonstration of the game. Like this is gonna be, here is a tomb. We're gonna go in and we're gonna raid it a little bit, and then we're gonna run out of it.
I
and,
think that ship
boom.
has sailed. I don't think
Of
that's
course
part of their
it's failed.
strategy.
It comes out this week, but I'm saying like they showed it poorly. So if this game is great, then they dropped the ball on the advertising, and I hope it still does well.
Fuck that. Squirrel Girl! Yeah.
But like supposedly there's open areas that might be kind of Hitman-y. I don't know.
Dude, you're sipping that copium.
If it's like Butcher Bay, it'll be cool. Because honestly, if you look at all of Machine Games' / Starbreeze's past, the game it resembles the most is
Butcher Bay.
Butcher Bay, which is a game that is like best when you're
Or
kind of
Dark
just
Athena.
exploring, doing
That
little
was
side quests.
That was
like
made by a
melee
team of people who
combat.
probably don't even work
Stealth.
in the industry anymore.
Well, that's I mean, there's
Butcher
people in
Bay
Machine
is
Games.
like fucking 20 years old. Like,
It's still fire
it's
though.
Still the studio like made that.
yes.
It's the people that made that. The people don't work at Starbreeze anymore. They started a new studio called Machine Games, and maybe some of them are still there. I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's
Look,
like
I want to believe.
20 years.
Hey, look, it's another secret level trailer. It's Mega Man.
Well, this one actually
fuck
looks
yeah,
like
this looks
hype because there's no like modern visual touchstone for Mega Man. So to see Mega Man look like that is just kind of cool. Everything else just looks like the
What
game
if they
that
made
they come from.
What if they made a Mega Man game that looked like that now? Like
Well,
what
they've
if?
tried to make.
They've tried, and it died.
Why
Remember
are there
Mega
so many
Man-
Marvel Rivals trailers in this?
Because it's December
Because
3rd and there ain't many new games coming out for the rest of the year.
It's the big thing, man.
And it's going to be huge, this game.
The ease.
And Galactus is cute now, I guess.
Yeah. Fucking
I don't know.
Wait, was that Galactus?
anime girl
These shows are
Galactus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the
Wolverine
fuck?
looks all right.
Oh, Wolverine looks fucking. I mean, I like it, but he looks even goofier than he
does.
normally does.
He's
I
tiny,
think
too.
Wolverine normally looks stupid. So I'm not.
Can I say that Hugh Jackman didn't pull off the mask in that new Deadpool movie?
How could anybody pull off that?
It's impossible,
No one
right?
can.
It is impossible.
How could anybody?
There are versions of that mask that I think could have been like
Wait, you didn't like the
better
mask?
for the screen. I didn't like the mask in Deadpool.
I like the mask. I mean, I
like,
think that was about as good as.
traditionally.
I think that was about as good as it could
I
ever
think
be.
there are versions of the mask that would have looked better on screen. That one looked a little cosplay.
But this is like, yeah. I mean, these are the edges of like comic books as a medium versus movies as a medium. You know, like there's a reason why these things were drawn for so long.
I know. I'm not saying I wanted like the black
Oh, I
leather
know,
like in
I
the
know.
X movies, but
No,
I mean,
know.
I want there's like proportionally there's versions of that mask that look a little less silly.
Ghost of McCree.
Also, asking them to choose the mask that looks less silly seems absurd for a Deadpool movie.
No. But that again, it's not. that's
It
not
was
exactly what
like
meant.
I feel like that was supposed it was supposed to be absurd that he was actually wearing the mask.
Well, it was also supposed to be cool, like a
And
cool
it was
moment at the
it
same
was
time.
pretty cool.
And a lot
It was
people
pretty
thought it was
cool.
cool.
Maybe the problem is Hugh Jackman. Maybe if Paul Mescal was wearing it or whatever. I watched Gladiator 2, by the way,
I didn't go
with
see
my
it.
with my the men of my family.
It's yeah.
It's a Gladiator.
It's
sequel.
gotta be tough working in Hollywood, like superhero movies, and being a costume designer, and then just getting like blown out of the water by people who go to Comic-Con. Like that happens too much. That happens
It's
too
true.
often.
The Lonely Mountain Snow Riders website still says 2024.
Good luck with that, buddy.
Hey.
How you doing in that league, anyways?
I'm not in last place.
Hey, you know who's in last place in our league now?
I believe still Chris Davis.
I think it's me.
No, it's not you.
I got a notification saying I was now in 6th place.
There's 7
There's
places.
Seven places.
Wait, is there 7?
Yeah,
Yes.
because Ed's in now.
I'm technically still in last place, but I've got 2 more games
But
to
he has
release.
Indie coming out, and
You're right. It is
what's
7.
the other one?
It is-
What's the other one?
Monument Valley,
Oh, yeah, if that scores.
if it scores, yeah.
Well, Neon Blood lost me 4 points.
I feel bad about. So I did show the trailer for Neon Blood, but to be fair, some of the other games that I showed that trailer talk came out and scored a lot better. Like that Dread Rock 2 is like in mid 80s. You know, it's not like I was throwing out trash. I just wanted people not to have empty spots. I honestly didn't think any of those would have scored someone negative points. Truthfully, but I didn't know much about Neon Blood.
Okay. No
I just
offense,
want
but how
people to-
long is this Professor Layton trailer?
It's almost over. Why do y'all hate Leighton?
Yeah, it's
You,
over.
y'all
in my
think
case.
this
You
is
know-
going to be a big comeback for
It's
Leighton?
shaped
or-
like a tube.
I hate Layton because they haven't released any information on Decapolice yet.
He's like a sausage man, like a little hot dog detective.
They have released information on Deca Police. It's 2026 now.
Yeah, that's not the information I'm looking for.
Is this the Armored Core?
This is the Armored Core one.
Oh, that looks sick.
Pretty fucking sick.
That looks sick. That
This-
game,
Imagine Armored Core if you could see people.
dude. No.
See, this episode looks expensive.
Yeah.
They're all expensive. Even the Concord one.
Yeah, they got Keanu Reeves for a 20-minute CG episode about Armored Core,
Yeah,
which
well,
sounds
he's-
pretty sick.
He's
I saw
shilling
it-
for fucking AI companies and shit now. I think he'll take anything. Like,
Can I say that I saw a thread about the best new character designs of the year, and it was a big long thread about cool looking characters, a lot of metaphor, ReFantazio, stuff like that in there. There was like quite a handful of posts of like some of the cooler looking characters from Concord, and it just made people sad. Because, you know, there's so many bad faith people out there that they only posted like the worst ones and the generic ones.
Oh,
but,
this
like,
looks
there
fucking
was some
sick.
decent
I
designs
haven't even
in there.
played the second DLC yet. I'm so behind.
Oh, Brad, is the Horizon knockoff game in here? I guess not.
I don't know what that is. Well, was that the last one?
Yeah, that was it.
We ended on a high note because that DLC looks sick.
I thought there was more, but maybe not.
All right, well, let's
I mean,
let's get it.
Okay.
yeah, I don't think there was. Wait, I got one more. I got one more. Come on, refresh,
Okay.
refresh.
All right,
Oh my
hang
God.
on. Let me
Refresh.
share my screen.
Wow, I feel like we're gonna regret this.
Well, I'm just trying to add content.
Wait,
No, it's not that.
what the hell is that?
Wait, back up and refresh. Just click it. You're
Just click
fucking it up. You're fucking it up. Your production sucks ass.
What are you doing? Just click next.
God damn it, Chris Davis.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
We were talking about that clip earlier before we were sorry.
Okay. All right.
All right, I'm gonna do a sound test real quick. I'll be right at the back.
Doing a sound test. I'll be right back. Test.
All right, I'm ready.
Working.
How's everybody in chat doing? Who's lurking?
Where my lurkers at?
Where my lurkers at?
Do I sound better this week than I did last week?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How come gay was auto modded on our
I think probably because when that word is normally used, it's probably used in a very derogatory
Yeah.
what?
manner.
But it's just a
It's
just the word. It's just the
Yes.
word.
Yes, but this is a gaming platform, and as we established earlier, gamers are fucking awful. And they
On Twitch, you can't call Zionists anymore.
oh my god,
We should go to Kick.
Yeah, where
Oh,
all the
God.
rapists are.
what the fuck are we? Okay, I clearly don't know what's going on. Okay,
Yeah, you should look into Kick.
No,
No,
you really should not.
It is
You really
fucking
should not.
It is wild what is going on.
I feel like I
over there.
learned everything I need to know about the platform based on like the short conversation we just had.
mean,
No.
All right, who's ready? Who's ready to do this?
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Should I start recording?
Yeah, by all means, I'm recording.
I
You know,
am
I-
recording.
You know, I said the wrong episode number last week, and nobody corrected me.
Testing.
Yeah,
we
you did.
correct you,
I
actually.
noticed.
you're the guy whose job it is to know that.
Testing.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. I hope I get it right this week. I think I got it. I think I know what's up. What's up? Are we ready?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm ready
recording
to
right
record?
now.
Okay. All right. Roll call starts right now. Brad.
What's up? What's up?
Crispy? He just left? Oh, there he is. Can I get a little more?
Oh, hey!
There we go.
Whoa!
Chris Davis.
Hi, I'm also here. Good evening.
Perfect. Thank you. Hey everyone, welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 818, if I'm correct. So maybe somebody can confirm for me. Thank you, Chris Davis. Episode 818. It's December 3rd, 2024. I'm your host, Nick Henderson. I am joined this evening by Brad Simons.
Hey-o.
Christopher Guthridge. God damn it, Crispy. Why'd you have
Hello.
and Christopher Davis.
Always just wonderful backgrounds there, Chris. I gotta compliment you.
It's like it's when my fucking face appears behind him that I get completely thrown off.
I'm showcasing community art. All right.
You certainly are.
Community over at discord.gg/4player.
Yeah, if you have art to share, Crispy will be happy to throw it on the background during the recording.
So
anyways,
much
guys, welcome
out there on our wonderful Discord.
welcome to the show. It's time to talk about video games as we do here. We're gonna touch on a few things tonight. I know we're gonna talk about Stalker 2, maybe some Metaphor. I know Brad's bringing a new indie game to the scene, right?
Yeah, whatever, Nick. I'll be asleep until segment B, I guess.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I want to go first, bitch.
Okay, you can
He
go first.
always wants to go first.
I mean, let me tell you, I've probably been playing more of my game than you have been of yours, Nick.
That actually really hurt. That really hurt because it's been really tearing me up inside. I've been struggling this week. Hey, look, you know what? You know what I did do because I couldn't play Stalker 2. I did finish Dragon Age Veilguard.
Okay.
You finished it.
I finished the Veilguard.
Wow.
That's good. I have not finished it because I went back to Dragon's Dogma 2 and
I don't blame you. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. And I don't intend to talk at length about Dragon Age: The Veilguard, and I don't think it's a bad game. I really don't. That game.
You have to care about the Dragon Age universe for one, and
I think that's part of my problem because I certainly don't think I care about it as much as something like Mass Effect. But with that said, I was invested in like the character dramas and stuff, and I wanted to like see how that played out. But two things I want to say about Dragon Age: The Veilguard. One, and I've never felt this way about any. Well, maybe not any. I think it's extreme, but I don't think I felt that way about many BioWare games. In that it wore out its welcome from a gameplay standpoint way before it wore out its welcome. Like I was for the last 15 hours, I was basically just in it for the story. I was like, the gameplay has completely felt like it kind of lost its luster. I was tired.
How many times did you respec though?
I'm not really a big respecker in general.
Okay, I'm just saying.
So, and that's
we're not all the same.
You're right. I'm like, this is purely just my own experience. Like, I kind of like to pick a build and stick with it.
Because you're right though. I can't imagine like playing through a game that long without trying out a bunch of different build ideas.
I will say this:
if
as
you
someone
really
who's
are
now,
doing the same shit the whole fucking game, yeah, I could see it.
You reach the end. You reach the end of a specialization tree fairly quickly, and then it's the same over and over and over again. So, my recommendation to anybody out here who's maybe considering playing it or already playing it is, if you're the kind of person who's into respec, because it is not going to change.
And it's more like based around like new unique loot that you're getting and stuff like that. Like there's definitely, it's not the deepest shit in the world, but like there's enough to like keep someone like me busy for the runtime, granted I did stop playing, but I did play over 50 hours and.
Yeah. The second thing I want to say is, and this is maybe the bigger issue for me, because after having played through all of that game, the world in that game feels so small to me.
Well, it feels
like
kind of artificial,
because
honestly.
It is artificial. But you remember Dragon Age 2, where it all takes place in one city, like the wall inside the walls of one city. I think I would have preferred that to this, which is there are like 5 areas you're going to go back to like over and over and over and over again. And
you forget Dragon Age 2, I think, but I see what you're getting at. It kind of had that Dragon Age 2 vibe to it because you're kind of returning to places in different states. Like time isn't progressing in the same way it did in Kirkwall or whatever, but it does have a similar vibe. But I mean, I like that you go to very distinct
I do like that
environments.
in theory. but
Kirkwall
like,
really was like you were taking the same quest in the same caves. They
Yeah.
just blocked off parts of the cave. I mean, Dragon Age 2 had issues.
it did have
Not,
issues, but
not
look,
entirely their fault, but still.
You know how
18 months of development.
when you go into the overworld quote unquote map to like pick where you're gonna go to
Yeah.
in Dragon Age Veilguard, like about halfway through the game, I was like, you could kind of see all the areas are like on the top, kind of near the top. They're clustered around the top of the map, and the bottom is kind of empty except for the necropolis. And I was like, okay, so by the end of this game, the whole map is going to kind of fill out. You're going to kind of go to all these places. No, at some point it just stops, and like by the end of the game, after 60 plus, almost 70 hours, the bottom half of the map is still completely empty.
You
and
played that much Dragon Age by the end?
Yeah,
Were you
I
kind of
don't-
doing everything, or is it just a really long game?
I was doing everything related to companion quests. I didn't want to leave any companion.
That means
stuff
my playthrough is
on-
probably going to be over 100 hours. That's crazy. You know, so many games that I played this year, and I know we're kind of just or more organically speaking.
Not a bad
but
thing.
because I did go back to Dragon Age, to Dragon's Dogma 2 finally, and I am in the post game finally. But I've hit about 100 hours on that, and you definitely don't need to play Dragon's Dogma that long. But I've realized that I kind of started playing that game kind of like how you described your experience with Red Dead 2, where you just kind of go out and you just kind of vibe with the environment and go
Things
hunting.
happen.
Like I just like, and that world is like way bigger than you would think. It's crazy how much Dragon's Dogma 2 is completely optional. If you kind of like beeline the main quest, you could probably get done in 25 hours, which is crazy because there's so much crazy shit to see in that world. But I really just I started like going out at night because night is obviously like one of the more amazing things about the Dragon's Dogma games, and it looks really good in 2. But just going out in the dark, turning off my lantern, and just looking for like golden beetles and secret tokens out in the wild because they glow, and it's such a vibe. And I have and I had the mage spell, the upgraded version that like casts light. And all it does is, I think that's all it does is cast light. That looks so good when it's pitch black at night. It looks so good, especially when you're like in a forest and there's like a fucking, ogre that you didn't see just kind of standing there. That shit looks really good. And I have to say, they really kind of like patched up that PS5 version, and it runs so much better now than it did at launch. So that's a good one to circle back to if y'all just kind of dabbled earlier in the year. I really kind of enjoyed. I mean, I always knew I was going to go back, but
I kind of want to just boot back
an
up just to see what like the PC version's like now. I mean, it's not my experience wasn't super rough, but like I'm sure it's better.
Yeah, and the PC version I think was always a little bit better. But the reason I stopped Dragon Age is because I realized that like this game is very like autopilot. It's so easy to just go make progress. Like, what I mean is that like I know I'm gonna finish that game. I actually wanted to like finish that book I was reading, which hard to find time to read these days, and there's no audiobook. So, I've been, just kind of slowly working my way through it on my lunch breaks and stuff. And I kind of want to finish that book before I continue with the game, but that's going to be an easy one to hop back into because it kind of just goes, right? Dragon's Dogma 2 definitely. I had some time off, right? And I wanted to. It's one of those games where you really got to spend a lot of time with the game before it gets its hooks back in you. It's not a short session kind of game. While Dragon Age is,
you got to find your flow again.
But I found my flow again, and I hit like almost 100 hours. It's crazy, but hey, super cool game by the way. It's definitely like my sort of shit.
Real quick side note, I forgot to mention this about the Veilguard. You want to hear some shit? Remember how I said I was like in it for the companion quests and stuff, right? And I was like working I was working my romance stuff the entire game, and I was like, okay, this is very much like classic BioWare thing.
You got shot down? You got shot down?
I didn't get shot down. I made a choice in the final. Like after you kind of cross the point of no return, there's some stuff that happens, and then you get to the point where it's like if you have a romance option, this is where it'll kind of play out. And I got to a point just before that where I was given a choice, and I made a choice, and it iced me out of my sex scene. Right? It just
Get
that
on, dude.
Womp
sucks.
womp.
You can't just please everyone, can you?
I told this. I went outside after this happened, and I went to my wife, and I was like, I think I just got iced out of my sex scene in this game. And she goes,
Get
so what you're
on,
saying is
dude.
you just wasted 60 hours? Like, I was like,
Did you get any sex scene? I wonder how like weird and muppety it is.
Well, no. I don't know if this was so like. I didn't get the sex scene when it was supposed to happen, and then when credits were rolling, like the mid credit, there was like a mid credit scene that seemed to. It was like, here, we're gonna give you the sex scene, and I think it like the context is a little different, but like, and it was weird. It was weird. It was almost like they realized they screwed me, and they're like, here, have a bone.
On the topic of Velgar, can I ask you something real quick? Did you finish like the Solus quest line that has you like conversating with a certain character? You would know. You would know.
When
But
did
no,
we
no.
finish
I
this?
should say it's a scene where your like the quest line is like you need to like talk it out with this person, and if it goes wrong, you're gonna have to fight this person or gods. You're gonna have to fight this
Yes.
person.
Yes,
And-
yes, I did that. I did
Okay.
that quest,
Okay.
and I talked my way through it.
Isn't it crazy that like they built this moment up a little bit? I mean, they built this moment up like it wasn't like something that's super normal and something like in like a normal RPG where you can like communicate normally. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like it felt so funny to me that I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. But it's also like what you do like in every 10 minutes in a regular ass RPG. But to this game, it was like something special, and I thought that was kind of funny. But whatever.
RPG light, baby. Okay.
I've been playing a new game. You want to hear about it, Nick?
Well, hold on. I feel like we've kind of iced the Chris's out a little bit. Let's see what's going on with you guys.
They're gonna get hyped about this game I'm talking about. They're gonna get hyped.
I don't even have a game to talk about this week
Oh.
because I'm playing Metal Gear Solid 5 and I'm on the quote unquote last mission, and I feel like it would be wrong to talk about it now without seeing what like that other half looks like.
Other half?
Or other, the beyond.
Oh,
You're getting
gotcha.
to the first ending.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, he doesn't know yet.
I was wondering what your criteria was for dictating when it was going to be the appropriate time to actually talk about this game that you've now played for
number?
like
Do you know what
50
mission
hours
number?
or something?
Mission number 30.
Okay,
It's the one where you actually have to like fight and destroy Sahelanthropus.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if he meant like mission 51 or whatever the fuck it was. I mean, whatever. That's not.
I'm not that far.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, it's a cool moment, I suppose.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Man, I remember like nothing about this game. Like nothing.
I watched Gladiator 2. Is that what you were kind of wanting to chat about?
Me?
Random shit?
I mean, I was just giving everybody an opportunity to talk before we like delve super deep into like bigger impressions or whatever. But I mean, we could. I saw Wicked. We saw. Just talk about movies.
I don't even know what Wicked is. All I know is that clip where the dudes are arguing about she came down in a bubble, Doug.
Jesus.
Dawn or John. I don't know. Yeah, no. That's great. Sorry, go ahead. How was Gladiator 2?
It was fine.
I heard it was pretty lame.
Yeah, I mean, it was a sequel to Gladiator.
I mean, I feel like anything if you say how's Gladiator 2 and someone says
kind of
fine, that's
I mean, there's some like, I mean, Denzel Washington's in it, and he's always pretty fun to watch, and he was definitely fun to watch here. There were like some cool gladiator scenes. They filled the arena with water, which they definitely didn't do that in the first one. Which
or in real life, probably I would imagine.
No, they did do that in real life.
They did do that.
They did mock naval battles in real life, so it is cool that they had it in the sequel. The aqueducts, dog, come on, man. Romans, they knew some stuff. It wasn't all.
You make it sound like it almost feels like you just put the words in my mouth that I said Romans had no idea what they were doing. That's not what I said.
it was fine. I don't know. It was weirdly like man, you just got to let the past go. They should have just told a new story, and it's like obsessed with that first movie and Russell Crowe's character, and it's just like I guess this is what sequels are. That makes sense.
I went back and watched the first Gladiator for maybe the first time in a decade because I thought we were gonna go see it on Sunday.
By the way, you should do that if you are going to see the sequel because it's a 2024 sequel. No,
I mean that's what I'm saying. I did. I watched it.
Yeah. How was it? Does it hold up?
I mean, yeah, it holds up. I mean,
I like outside of the arena at least.
I mean, a little bit. Honestly, watching it again, and I don't know if I'm going to get skewered for saying this, but like, I did not like the way a lot of the action was framed in that first movie.
I mean, I don't know. It's like worse now. Like now, there's more like edits and cuts and stuff. At least there, it was like.
But like edits and cuts don't really bother me as long as you can kind of tell what's like the flow of a fight is happening.
That's
like
what I mean. You didn't get that from the original Gladiator?
No, dude. Like there's a big moment. I'm sure you remember in the first one where like they let in like all these people on chariots and they're like circling them and they're like everyone's getting like get together in the middle, and then like when shit starts to kind of hit the fan and people start dying, I couldn't tell if someone that I should care about died. I was like, wait, was that a good guy or a bad guy? Like, what just happened? Like, who was that? Somebody important? And I didn't really realize.
Cared about Russell Crowe, though. Let's be honest.
No, I mean,
what's funny? So I don't know. This is some minor spoilers, but I think people know this. The kid, remember the kid in the original Gladiator? So he's the main character of this new one, right? Paul Mescal, which is an actor I thought I didn't know at all. I was like, I don't even know what this guy's from, but he was in this movie After Sun that I saw a couple years ago, which is like not only a great film, but like maybe the saddest movie I've ever seen in my life. So like he's a good actor. I just had never seen him in anything, I thought, but he did a fine job in this, I suppose. But the kid from the original movie, it's funny because he was the kid in Unbreakable.
Yes.
Is that the name of the movie?
Wait. Yes, Unbreakable. Yeah.
Same kid actor who played his grown-up character in Glass. Because the other thing about sequels these days is that they're obsessed with not recasting when they're doing characters. Sequels. Yeah, legacy characters. Casting. And I'm like, oh man, he came back for Glass, but I guess he couldn't like hit the gym hard enough to play his character in Gladiator 2.
Damn, that's fucked.
Well, I mean, they wanted a star, I suppose, but I don't know. We're done. This conversation has run its course.
Look, I saw Wicked. Can I just say I saw Wicked, and as someone who has never seen Wicked or really knew anything
Have you seen
about
Wizard of Oz? I thought you were about to say Wizard of Oz.
No. Yes, I've seen the Wizard of Oz. Of course, I've seen it. It's probably been a very long time since I've seen the Wizard of Oz, but of course I have. But I had never seen Wicked. I never really knew much about the production or the story or anything like that. Like you, Brad, prior to going to see this, maybe the biggest like touch point for me was that meme video of the guy. She came down in a bubble, John. Like that video, right?
Doug.
I went and saw Wicked, and it was fucking awesome. Like I really liked that movie. I feel like that's kind of the reaction a lot of people are having to it.
That's not the reaction I've been seeing.
Really? Oh man, I thought
apparently a lot of people who are really into the play do not like the movie.
Well, I feel like there's. I mean, my wife's really into the play. She loved it.
Like this, it's a two-parter. They're just not advertising that part well.
Yeah. That is one thing that is true.
And then I also think there's a thing like there are people who like the book but don't like the play or the movie. Like,
there's a book,
or nobody likes the book, or there's a book. And it's
the Wizard of Oz book.
I'm saying if you are into like the production and you like the story and you like the music, which is an important part of it, right? I don't think you're going to be disappointed in the film. It's pretty damn good.
Malia and Henry watched that one on their own, and I didn't miss it. They also watched Moana 2, which I didn't get to go to because I was watching Gladiator 2 with the men of the family.
What the fuck?
But I heard
perpetuating this. Why are you perpetuating this bullshit?
It was a Thanksgiving like decision, So I'm like, I guess I Go see Gladiator. I heard Moana 2 was kind of mid as well. So fuck it. What are we talking about here?
They're all mid.
Oh, Wicked. You like Wicked, except for
We did get tickets to see Nosferatu on Christmas Day, and I'm pretty excited
that.
about that.
I want to see that. I want to see.
That is how we will be spending our Christmas
I'm
evening.
very
Is going to see
excited about
Nosferatu.
Watch all the Dracula Flow videos and go watch Nosferatu.
No, I think I'm gonna rewatch all the what's his? Is it Robert? Is it Robert or Roger? Roger Eggers? Robert Eggers? Someone help me.
Eggers.
I know
Yeah.
it's Eggers. I don't remember
It's
his
not
first
Roger.
name.
It's Robert.
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 Eggers?
Okay, Robert Eggers. I always question myself whether I'm getting it right. Go watch the Robert Eggers films.
Eggers.
Eggers, because man, I've loved pretty much all of them.
Go watch Nosferatu, the original, and then the remake that came out like in the 80s.
The original you can find on YouTube, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's like public domain.
Prince is asking if I've watched Renfield. I have not, but my wife went and saw it with her mom, and she said she didn't like it.
Yeah, I've not heard good things.
Anyways,
that Bram Stoker's that overrated Coppola movie. I don't even know why people like it. I hate that fucking movie with Keanu. Speaking of Keanu,
wait, what is this transition?
What?
Armored Core dog.
We're not here to talk about Armored Core. What are we doing? I thought you were talking about.
Well, when does that Armored Core? When does that secret level stuff drop? Is it already out? Is it coming out? What is it? Next week. Is it all going to drop at once, or we have to watch the Concord episode first? No one knows.
I mean,
who's going to do it? Out of morbid curiosity, who's going to watch?
They're all shorts, right? They're all like 20 minutes.
Well,
I mean, because it's not like a. I don't feel like
minutes long.
I don't know. Maybe somebody in chat knows.
I
mean,
it is one of them is going to premiere at the Game Awards.
It is an Amazon Prime. It is an Amazon Prime series, and Amazon Prime has historically done like they usually release like the first 2 episodes of something at the same time, and then after that it's week to week. But with this, it's like a 20-minute. Each one's like 20 minutes, so like maybe that's not what they're doing.
You're not going to let me go first, are you?
No, I am totally. The first segment is all you, Brad.
Fuck yeah, dude!
I don't like you giving him that power. I don't like
fucking
that.
Game here. This is one I'm surprised Chris Davis has not spoken about, because it seems like maybe it would have been his vibe. I mean, I know he talked about their previous game a little bit on this podcast.
Our previous game. Oh, their previous game.
Their previous game.
I don't know which. I don't even know which studio made this.
A little game that came out, I don't know, a couple months ago called Echo Point Nova. This is from an indie developer who previously made a game called Severed Steel.
Mm.
Familiar with this game?
I am familiar.
So like famously a crazy FPS where you can like flip all the way upside down in the air. Anyways, they made a new game that's like an open world shooter, but you also have a grapple gun and a hoverboard, and there's floating islands, and you can go really fast and find agility orbs and upgrades and new weapons. And this game is like super fucking cool and fun to play, and I highly recommend people try out the demo. There's a demo, so it's a game
that's already referencing
like,
Tribes.
I had heard. I mean, it's crazier than Tribes even. I mean, this game you just fly all over the fucking place. But yeah, I understand.
Sick.
Tribes is cool, but I mean, look at this footage; it's nuts. Tribes, you have to think about like the slope of the hill when you are building momentum. You know, like it's this game is just nuts. Like this is the game that of like they should really. By the way, there's like you probably can't see what's happening, but there's also like a geomod. Like you could just
like you're digging. I see you
you
digging
through the fucking environment. But it's an open.
Ooh, it's
world,
Red Faction-y.
Red Faction-y. So think like Breath of the Wild, right? With floating or like Skyward Sword or something. You know, it's a bunch of floating islands, and there are things to find, and there's like combat challenges on like these kind of like bespoke islands that are like sort of like arenas. That you sort of trigger, and then you're finding new weapons and upgrades and perks, but like the hook of this game is just how much like freedom of movement you have. You can like they definitely gave you all the keys, and they're just saying like go crazy with it. You have a grapple hook, you have a hoverboard. That hoverboard can like grind on any surface. You can just grind vertically to like go up a surface to like get even more air, and you go really fast, and
Seeing
you're
the hoverboard in first person is throwing me off.
well, it is I mean, it's a first person shooter. Like so the trailer calls it well, it's not okay. There's a trailer that I thought I was gonna have on here for trailer talk, like an accolades trailer or something made. And they're quoting like, PC Gamer or some shit. They call it Doom meets what the fuck did they say? God, I can't remember. Doom meets
This sounds like a me description.
Yeah.
Are you watching the footage? This is what I'm
yes.
saying. Like I'm surprised Chris Davis didn't know about this game. I heard it being talked about on like some podcasts lately, and I was like, man, this really does sound like up my alley in terms of like the movement and control options. And sure enough, so I had tried a demo literally on my Steam Deck. I was like, I heard this actually runs on a Steam Deck. I'm going to try this on a Steam Deck. And I was playing the demo for hours, and I forgot that I did not buy the full game, that I've been playing a demo. And I'm like, holy shit. So then I bought the game, and
Did
I
your
did have to
progress
start
carry
over.
over?
It didn't carry over, but like it was different, right? Like there were some differences. And so like, but it's so fun to play that I definitely did not mind that I had to start over, because it's just so cool. It's so cool. And all I can say is like try the demo, but um how like when what am I trying to say? That there are games where like not like Tribes. I mean, Tribes is certainly cool. That's like a multiplayer thing, but there are games where it's like, hey, you could do this cool like maneuver if you do this.
Did this game, which apparently has an accolades trailer, not even register on OpenCritic?
It's possible. Maybe it wasn't.
I'm looking
accolades
for it.
trailer.
I'm not finding it.
This game has co-op. This game would be really fun in co-op.
Bullshit.
Man, I really did mean to put that trailer on Trailer Talk. So you can watch. I mean, I don't know how I'm making the game look. I've been playing this on my Steam Deck, but then it's a situation where I switched over to my PC with a different controller and a different monitor, and I'm like, whoa, this is weird. I adjusted the FOV, but I kind of tried to warm up a little bit before I recorded this footage. But it's a crazy, fast-paced game where sometimes you can't get to the enemy, so you just dig a hole through the environment, which is insane in a game that moves as fast as it does, that you can also just destroy the environment. But since you have so many tools to get around the environment, it doesn't matter that you're destroying it. Because
some of my fondest memories of playing a first-person shooter were just like spending a ridiculous amount of time using all of my missiles to dig holes through rock walls in Red Faction. Like I was obsessed. Yep. I would dig like tunnels and then go to the end of the tunnel and then use the what do you call it? The weapon that could shoot through walls to like snipe
like a railgun or whatever.
Yeah, railgun. Yeah. So I feel it. I feel the like that's pretty cool and pretty unique, and I don't see it very much these days.
And it's not just like the controls and like it's so inherently fun just to move around this game, and like the combat feels good. And somebody in chat asked, I can't believe you're playing this with a controller. Well, the thing is, I'm playing it on Steam Deck, and it's kind of don't have a choice, but it works surprisingly well as a controller game, just because there's a lot of like auto aim that they built. I don't know if like the settings detect that I'm on a Steam Deck or whatever, but like the default controls with a controller are like absolutely like just fine. But it's just a cool world to explore. These islands, they feel like completely different, and there's like secrets and stuff you're looking for, and it's fun to like try to figure out where the agility orbs are and like get to those agility orbs, because
there it is. That's really what's doing
it's very Crackdown, right? Like you want to get that stuff, because when you get that next level of agility upgrade, it's stuff like, well, now you can grapple twice instead of just once with a cooldown, and those little upgrades kind of change everything in terms of like how much freedom you have in terms of movement. Like I got an ability, so I got it in the demo early, but I didn't get it yet in the main game, and I don't know if it's because this is an open world game. I don't know if I just didn't go to that area yet, or if the demo changed versus the final game. But I got an ability, it's like a spell. I can throw down like a air bubble that like launches me up into the air. And when you're already like moving this fast and have this momentum, having something to be able to like launch you up into the air anytime you want is not just great, but you can also like throw it under like enemies' feet and stuff and like send them flying, or throw it on like a vertical surface that you're about to run into and like pop yourself way back. Like they just give you all of the tools. It reminds me of like Bayonetta or something, where when Bayonetta came out, it's like, I felt this way about Devil May Cry. It's like, oh, well, what if you could just have infinite bullets and now the game is more about keeping shit up in the air, right? Like it's a different like design philosophy. And then when Bayonetta came out, it's like, well, what if you can just dodge as much as you want, and then if you dodge perfectly, you could just slow down time as much as you want, and we're not going to limit you. This game feels like a game with no limits, where every other game is obsessed with like stamina meters and you can only do this thing once in the air and then you have to land to be able to do it again. This game says fuck it, we're just going to give you all the tools, get creative, and it's just
let you have fun. I feel like you buried the lead a little bit, dude. You just opened the map for the first time and I was like, holy shit.
It's open world floating island game. Imagine
it looks like there's like 1,000 islands. They're all small, but like
it's big.
That was bananas.
But you got to understand, this is a game you can get around so fucking fast that it makes sense that there's like a million of these islands, because they're places to explore, but they're also just like your grapple points when you're going through the air like 800 miles an hour. It's really cool. This game is really fucking cool. I'm surprised there's no I guess I'm not surprised there's no professional reviews, because it's kind of been a year and it's especially been hard for indie games to stand out. I don't know if like this developer's like previous game, Severed Still, got reviews necessarily. I do remember Chris Davis talking about it. I think it was like a Steam Next Fest demo you played, Chris Davis, if you don't remember.
Might be.
Severed Still, is that what it's called? Because that was a game with like crazy shooting mechanics where you can like completely turn yourself upside down. Like you could do flips in the air as a first person shooter, which is always like a crazy cool thing. And I'm fighting mechs.
Neon VR kind of visuals and
You're
stuff.
fighting mechs on floating islands while flying around on a hoverboard with a grappling
It's
hook.
crazy. It's like a fucking Mountain Dew of a video game, but I'm telling you, like the game feel is so good that I kind of just couldn't stop playing it. And it reminded me, well, I didn't. Okay, when I was younger, we called them Quake Eyes. Maybe y'all's touchstone is different. What's like a fast-paced shooter, like a really fast-paced shooter that you played growing up? But like my eye when I was
things like that.
Yeah, I know. I guess I meant for the younger people. Maybe you're old like me, Chris Davis.
He's an old soul. We've already established this.
What I'm saying is, when I was done playing after like I don't think I've had a session that went more than like an hour and a half. But my eyes hurt. My eyes hurt like I hadn't blinked for that entire time. That's what I felt.
That's not an endorsement. I don't know what is.
I was like, I need eye drops or something. This is fucked up, and I haven't had that feeling in a long time.
It should be a box quote. This game made my eyes hurt, Brad Simons.
But not like, I mean, I think visually it's got a cool look and it like runs really smooth. Like you can even I was able to get this game to run really like 60 FPS on a Steam Deck. And I think it like kind of turned off a bunch of like visual settings like by default, but like this is not a game you're playing for the visuals. You want to have like the fastest.
Well, how do you know? Maybe it's gorgeous on when you have all
those things. Well, no, this footage I'm playing on my PC. And it's running really good, but
you did tell us today in Discord that your PC is like 8 years old.
Yeah, yeah. So what I'm saying is like they prioritize like frame rate and stuff. So yeah, there's a demo out there that's like huge. It's a huge demo, so much so that I forgot I was playing a demo. When I was like, oh, I'm definitely talking about this on the podcast, and I forgot. Oh wait, this is still the demo.
This isn't even the real game.
It's not even the real game. But yeah, so definitely try that demo because man, the game feel is just crazy. And I don't know, I love like floating islands, that sort of thing. It's so cool. It's cool. Echo Point Nova, try the fucking demo.
Yeah, Echo Point Nova for those who missed it.
I just installed it.
And it seems like a game that would be hard to play. But like they've definitely like tuned this in such a way that like I'm playing this with a controller and moving this fast, it seems impossible. But there's enough like snap to. I mean, you got to lead shots when things are like enemies are like flying all over the place, of course. But like, there's enough snap to like target when you're like aiming that like it's you're gonna be doing cool shit almost immediately, and it's gonna feel really cool and good, and you're gonna look and feel like a god, even though the game is just tuned in such a way to make it to where everyone feels like that. And to me, that's a sign of a good one of these for sure. So
Sweet.
I know it's a late in the year, and for some of us dumb podcasters, that like means we were out of time. But for the normies out there that are listening, just try the demo because it's fucking cool. You can get back to your metaphor later, or whatever the fuck.
I can't get back to metaphor later because I have less than a month to finish that game, or I will be forever labeled.
Racist.
I'll be.
Yeah.
I'll take this opportunity to transition and talk because I have not talked about Metaphor ReFantazio since I think I talked about it when it was still a demo, but demo's the weird term because it's like the first 3 or 4 hours of the game. And at this point now, I'm sitting somewhere in like the 22, 23 hour point in the game.
That's not far for a game like that, though.
It's
right?
not. I mean, I did play through Dragon Age: The Veilguard since I started this, which was maybe not the best use of my time given the fact that I've accepted this challenge. But
I know it's like if you enjoy this game at all, like why are you just playing it? But then again, we've had a weird conversation last year about a game that you enjoyed, so maybe I don't want to get into it.
Yes, don't bring it up. Don't bring it up.
So you're 20. How many hours in?
22, I think 23, somewhere.
Have
in
you
there.
even finished the tutorial at this point?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like the first, like if you played the demo or the opening hours of the game, that pretty much serves as like the prologue for the story. So if you get through that, the game is, at that point you're in it. So I'm pretty deep now into the story. I'm like, I've got a feel for kind of like, I mean, all the systems I've got a feel for and how the flow of the game works and the comparisons that are obviously going to be made to Persona, because in a lot of ways this game is just kind of it's a reskinned Persona in some ways, but in other ways it's completely different. But one thing that, I mean, like because I played through Persona 5 Reload or Persona 4 Reload, Persona 3 Reload earlier this year. That was my first Persona game. So now I'm playing something that is...
That was not your first Persona game. That was the first.
It was my first Persona game that I finished. Every other Persona game prior to that, I had fallen off around the 20-hour mark. So I'm technically at the point now in Metaphor where I would potentially
we're in December. Do you think you're going to make it?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, we're going to talk about it in the second segment, but Stalker 2 is that's going to be a big threat. But we'll see. I mean, I'm also playing this.
It's only a threat if you're racist. Let's be clear here.
I guess that's true. But there
are Metaphor fans that already have tattoos of this game. I'm sure. I promise you that's real.
Well, they probably had tattoos before the game came out.
That is definitely possible.
So, look at this menu.
Dude, the menu is so sexy. The menu is so unbelievably overproduced, but it's like amazing. Oh my god. It's like half their budget went into like making this menu. It's insane.
You say the words, the menu looks so sexy.
I've been in the Veilguard
people's feet.
I've been in the Veilguard Dragon's Dogma menu trenches, man. I could use some flair.
If you want some sexy menus, play Metaphor ReFantazio. They're some of the sexiest I've seen in years. It just feels nice, like clicking through the menus and like selecting things and like seeing how everything animates. The screen you get when you finish a fight, and it does this like slow-mo, like dramatic walk. You see the entire team, and it's like this dramatic downward angle from above. It's just like telling you your experience points and stuff. It's like, oh man. Chef's kiss. It's so good.
I love the calendar stuff too. That stuff is so fucking.
Yeah, dude. No, it's really cool. And I think I briefly talked about this. Like kind of the social positioning of this game is kind of built around something totally different than Persona, right? Because with Persona, you're building relationships with your classmates, and those are your social links. The social links in this game are they work similarly, but like it they're all helping you to like
Unlock
build
classes and
your all the classes and the social links that you're working on are helping you build the various components that make up like a good leader, right? Or in this case, because everyone this game is it's very strange because like the central story around this is suddenly everybody in the world is given the ability to like vie for to become king of this land, right? So everyone's like, oh my god, it could be me. So you are thrust into the situation where suddenly you're like, okay, well, I've got to do this, and now everyone is competing against everyone to become king. So you are building your social links with other people to like boost your eloquence and your imagination, and I forget what all of them are, but like they're all aspects that would make a good leader, right? So that's kind of the thing.
Nick, I heard this game has some sick ass characters. Is that true?
It does have some pretty good characters.
Did you meet the bat yet? I heard the bat like is sick.
The funny thing is that I think so, but like I didn't think it was a bat. I thought he was a mouse, but I guess he's a bat.
That's funny.
Yes, you'll see him in this footage. He looks like a little mouse, but I guess it's a bat. I don't know. Yes, he's a pretty cool character.
Maybe he's a rat. I don't know. I thought I heard someone call him a bat. Maybe they said rat.
There were points where I was like, okay, maybe he's not a mouse. I don't know. You'll see what I'm talking about when you see him.
Did he fly? Does he have wings?
He does not fly or have wings, but he kind of looks like he might have wings hidden somewhere. I don't know. Yes, the characters in this game are pretty fucking good. There's also Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg, yeah. What a name, dude.
Hulkenberg?
Yeah, Hulkenberg. I mean, I think she's a fan favorite. I think everybody loves her. And it still feels a lot kind of like Persona in that like
of course
it's a much more serious like.
But they're not annoying high school kids now, right?
Right. But they all have like they still kind of have like funny personal quirks. Like Hulkenberg is this, she's this like elf knight.
Eating or something.
She loves eating, but all the food that she loves, dude. No. She loves eating, but all the food that she loves eating is like fucking disgusting. And every time she eats, people are like, "What the fuck?" So, and she's like obsessed with. She's always gravitating towards like food that everybody else thinks is vile. So like that's kind of her thing. But yeah, like not all. I don't think all the characters necessarily so far where I'm at. I don't think all the characters are necessarily like winners. There's a few that I need to be sold on.
You've not developed those relationships yet.
I don't know. I don't know. But like, what's there so far is pretty good, and I am really enjoying it. And let me just tell you, the kind of like the overarching like story of this game is just fucking batshit bananas crazy, and everybody in this like they keep referencing humans, and humans are monsters. So like the word humans and the word monsters are basically interchangeable. So they're talking about, but like
social commentary.
No. But when you actually come across, like they're usually boss fights. So you come across a human.
They're horrifying.
Like these horrifying giant mutations that look nothing like people. Like they're like the most.
It's what some of us look like on the inside, Nick. You know
yeah. But like the main character carries around this like storybook that talks about a place where it basically describes our world where there's like democracy and stuff. It's strangely relevant.
The most. This is. I don't want to take it back to Gladiator 2 and democracy.
But you're going to.
But like. I was listening to a conversation about it, and they're like, and they brought up such a fucking good point. They're like, it's hard to watch movies about like where heroes are fighting for democracy.
Yeah.
When like it's
it's falling apart in the real world.
Yeah. Well, Dunn already did, right? It's so funny because it is such a good point because it's like. The lens, like it's like horse shit. now, right? It makes it hard to watch a nice story about something like that,
dude.
where the heroes get their
You know,
democracy. And it's
dude,
funny that
I know we're going off on a tangent here, and I certainly don't
Yeah.
want to delve into politics and get super depressed
Sure.
here. But like,
well,
I don't like. I don't feel like I can watch The West Wing, which I want to.
oh God, I
so
was not
bad.
able to watch The West Wing like many administrations ago. I love The West Wing, but there was one point where I grew up and put away my childish things. Man, it is
Yeah.
not cool
Yeah.
anymore. It is not cool anymore.
It is. I mean, it's still an amazing
it's
show. It's an amazing show, but it is fantasy now.
It is. It was fantasy then too.
I know, but like,
It was fantasy then.
It is the ultimate peak of like the fantasy of liberalism.
yeah. Anyways, that was a hell of a sidebar. But I will say, when I started playing this game, it was very much kind of like, I didn't expect that to be kind of like a core conceit of the story. But man, this game is super fucking political. I mean, it's crazy. Like,
but still in like a Persona way, not like in a cool Matsu.
I mean,
way,
this
right?
this kid is like
Yeah.
this kid is in a situation where he's running for king because he's basically sees this like fascist piece of shit who is like swooping in and trying to like steal the kingdom, and he's
Yeah.
like, I gotta stop that from happening. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Jesus fucking Christ. So that aspect of it's making it a little hard to kind of stomach sometimes. But it's pretty cool. I'll tell you right now, having played Persona 3 and this game in the same year, I think Persona 3 Reload was a great remake of that game. The one thing I think they've done to improve from Persona to this is they've kind of gotten the flow down. Like, everything flows really nicely. I think the biggest part about
Persona,
that.
remember, Persona 3 was their first attempt at this formula.
True, but
it
like,
is a gussied up. You played a gussied up PS2 game,
right?
Yeah, this
but like,
is them.
Persona 4 and Persona 5.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have now. It's like you played the remake of Demon Souls earlier this year, and now you're playing like Bloodborne, right? Like they have since figured this formula out, and they are good at it, and they know they're good at it, and they're probably going to keep doing it. But
this game does certain things better, I think, than even Persona 5. You know what I mean? Like, this is the one where I think they're
getting better at it. It makes me excited for Persona 6, but like, maybe I don't care about Persona 6. Maybe I'm a metaphor girly now. I don't know. I purchased this. I just have not started it yet. It's actually like a pretty good sell on this game on PSN. So I just bought it. It was like, I don't know. It's like $70 normal, but it was like 52 or something. Or
nice.
Like, it was a pretty good sell, and I was like, "Oh, this game's brand new. I'm glad I'm getting it for a steal."
See, look, you can see the character's name is Heizme. I think it's a mouse. I don't think he's a bat. I think it's a mouse.
Okay. Well, maybe you need to develop that social link to get to see their wings.
Yeah.
I hear that's a really good character. So
He's pretty great. I just got him like a couple days ago, so
okay.
I haven't really like gotten to know him yet. But like, yeah, he's right out of the gate. He seems like a pretty sweet character, like a pretty cool character, not like a really.
You say that, Bognos in chat, but this dude put Persona 5 on his top 10 list that year, and he tells me that everything on his top 10s are gold.
Don't fucking do it, Brad. I did Persona 5. That game was pretty great. I honestly still regret that I have not.
It was good enough to make number 9 or 10, right?
Yeah, it was. Fuck you and your.
Well, no, you're the one who says those mean a lot.
They do. They all do.
So I'm saying you're a Persona fan.
I mean, yeah.
yeah.
This man finished a Persona game, and this year, and afterwards he was like, "Yeah, Persona."
I think I'm a Persona fan as of this year, as of 2024. Like, having played 85,
you're gonna be playing Persona
hours.
6 day one. Die hard. If Stalker 3 and Persona 6 drop on the same day, which one are you playing?
Well.
Probably not Stalker 3. It's going to run like shit, right?
I mean, I kind of... Okay, we're going to talk about that. All right.
Okay.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to have an incredibly painful conversation about Stalker 2. It's only going to be painful for me. To be clear, it's only going to be painful for me. Chris Davis has played a fuck ton of it.
This Zero
Um,
Skies, you're a fucking
Have
mark,
I?
dude.
I mean,
He's not an enjoyer. This motherfucker is gonna put 8 more hours into this game, and it's gonna make his number 11. And he's like, no, I love Metaphor. Number 11, it's an honor. I'm telling you, I'm not saying he's got to get a tattoo, but he's gonna hurt some people's feelings. Just you watch.
I think Metaphor has a really good shot at being on my list.
The fact that you're saying that when everyone else, it's like they're number 1 with the bullet, and you're saying maybe it'll make my list. But do it.
Prepare yourself.
There's a difference.
It won't be my. It will not be my number 1. Yes, and you're right. I am
20
not
hours in. What if by the end of it, it is?
Look, Brad, I'm not like I like these games, but I'm not like I'm not like slobbing and snob. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy it, and it's good, and it's a really great game, and it's got a lot of personality. But you know, it's been some pretty great games for me. But whatever, I don't want to get into that. When we come back from the break.
Says it all, really.
By the way, Chris Davis, I looked it up on Steam. You've played like 23, 24 hours or something of Stalker 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that is what I consider a fuck ton when I've barely managed to scrape out about 3 or 4 hours of stable gameplay.
Is that true?
Yes.
I don't know if that
I've spent twice that amount of time trying to get it to run. But I will say this, and maybe I'll kind of leave it at this. I did download the patch, which is the third patch that came out today, and I did boot it up for a little bit, and I played it for about 10, 15 minutes, and it was pretty fucking smooth.
Good.
Knocking on wood.
Yeah, but wasn't it always pretty smooth for a few minutes, and then kind of like took a shit?
There was one time where that happened. So I don't know for sure. I'm still gonna have to like sit down and play for like an hour or two, or try to, and see if it works. But like the last 10 times that I've tried booting it up, it just right out of the gate. As soon as the game loads up, it runs smooth for about 10 seconds, and then just memory leak. Everything crashes.
10 seconds. I thought you were playing a lot more before.
No,
the memory leak.
like I said, I
That's
have
not
managed.
even a memory leak.
I have managed to. No, listen. Shut the fuck up, Brad. Listen. I have managed to eke out about 3 or 4 solid hours of like smooth playing. The first time I played this game, I played it for the first night on launch night. This is the crazy thing. On launch night, I played it for 2 straight hours, smooth as butter, running on epic settings, no issues. Booted it up the next day to play more, and within about 10 minutes, memory leak. Everything slowed down to like 2 frames. So I lowered all the settings. I've started going through all this shit, doing all the things.
But yeah.
I changed the settings even to low, same issue. And then it got to the point where they released a patch, and it worked for about an hour. And then after about an hour, memory leak. And now, ever since that point, every time I booted up within about 5 or 10 seconds of the game starting, memory leak. Today I played it for about 15 minutes, no issues. So it's been a struggle, but today's patch was huge. It was like 23 gigabytes. And there were a couple recommendations for a couple things that I had not tried yet in Discord. So I shout out to those of you who sent me some recommendations. I did those as well, and I'm hoping that maybe that contributed. We'll see. I'm not super hopeful. It's been a struggle. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. When we come back from the break, Chris Davis is going to lead us through a conversation about Stalker 2, and I'm going to contribute what I can. Because it's pretty cool. It seems pretty cool. So if you're watching at home,
I hate to say it, but I'm
oh
going to call him the authority on this anyways.
Well, yeah,
even before. Yeah,
I mean, I was never going to be the authority on Stalker 2, but it is funny that like I've managed to play. I've had like maybe the worst PC experience I've had in a long time trying to get Stalker 2 to run, but the amount of the 3 or 4 hours that I played, I already know if I can just get this running at a stable, like if I can just get it stable, it'll be one of my favorite games of the year.
It's like Slav jank difference, man.
Yeah,
they don't settle for ugly Eurojank games. They're like, no, we're gonna make this look beautiful.
There's something about my rig or
disaster.
the combination of things and the kind of the optimization.
It ain't unique to you, man. That's been.
I'm not
talk
saying
of
it's
the
unique
town.
to me, but there are people like I can see people on my Steam's friends list who have put 30, 40 hours into the game already, and that's not even possible
that's
for me.
part of the experience. Honestly, that's part of it.
But
Hating the
anyways,
people who aren't having the issues.
yes, I do hate all of you. But anyways, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about Stalker. Maybe we'll do some checkup. We'll check in on Fantasy Critic and wrap up with the 4-player minutes. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
What number is this again?
818. Be right back.
What is your? Remind me of your history with Stalker, Chris Davis. I know you're a Metro guy, but
yeah. I have beaten Shadow Chernobyl, and I've beaten Call of Pripyat twice.
okay. No one plays what's it called?
Clear Sky.
Yeah, Clear Sky.
Pripyat.
Pripyat's cool.
But Blobly, that wasn't on your list.
Well, he's playing Japanese RPGs, right?
That's the joke.
Is he gonna do Western RPGs next? Oh shit! Are you working on a Western RPGs list, Blobly? Wait, are they all Japanese RPGs? Balatro better be on my list. You know, I've been thinking about Balatro. It's a pretty competitive year. I do like Balatro a lot. I've played a lot more Slay the Spire this year than I have Balatro, believe it or not. And now that Balatro's installed on my phone, I'm still find myself opening up Slay the Spire still. I don't know, man.
And as soon as Slay the Spire 2 hits, I assume that we'll never see you again?
Yeah, I mean, that's the crazy thing, right? Like, I'm going to be all in even when it launches in early access. That's just how much I love Slay the Spire. Like, there are early access games I can wait on. I can't wait on that. Like Slay the Spire is, there are a few things that, like, I apologize to my family ahead of time when they come out. One of them was Monster Hunter, right? And Slay the Spire is up there for me. It is an all-time.
Family, I apologize for the neglect you're about to experience.
You're playing Daggerfall, man. Daggerfall is hard to go back to, but
that's got to be rough without mods.
Daggerfall, the biggest RPG ever, or whatever, by like orders of magnitude. I love like Daggerfall map comparisons, like size comparisons or whatever. It's like, you know, tiny little speck. All of Skyrim can fit on this speck compared to the rest of Daggerfall. Yeah, it's wild. I mean, they do a lot of proc-gen stuff, but like it is like there.
What are we talking about?
Daggerfall, or is like the whole world. I mean, I'm sure they generated it. Like, I don't think it's different every time, but it is a big empty world of that they spit a formula, or I don't know.
I want to do another community night for Outlast Trials too. I was actually hoping to do it last weekend, but
I want to do another community night.
PC time troubleshooting Stalker. So
I kind of want to play. What was the game where we were like filming ourselves? That one was pretty fun.
Filming ourselves? Oh,
and then we were watching the videos.
Oh yeah, I was not there for that night.
Oh, you weren't there. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a 2024 game. Content warning. Oh man. I hate multiplayer games, but only because I love multiplayer games. And to me, the worst thing in the world is dabbling in something. I'm just a very naturally competitive person when I take stuff seriously, and if I don't have time to take it seriously, to me it's like a huge waste of time. So I typically won't engage. This is why I've played thousands of hours of Tekken in my life, but I'll only play like a new one for a week, right? Because I don't. And even when I find myself getting sucked back in, I just get mad because I know I don't have the time to actually commit like I used to. And I feel that way because I used to play online shooters and stuff too. But if I can't, I wouldn't be able to play it, so I'm not going to play it at all. If I couldn't even play some, I mean, if I can only play a little bit here and there, I'm not going to play it.
I feel you.
But
Well, I agree.
games like Content Warning are almost designed for like, just a fun night or whatever, right? Like they're it's almost like playing a Jackbox game or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a game just to like play here every now and then, because there's not much content there anyways. Like people who play like Phasmophobia like every single night, it's like the magic gets lost because it all becomes like playing the game well, right?
Right.
I mean, maybe it's not like that, but these games I feel like are designed in such a way to not like maximalize or whatever.
Maximalize.
They're designed to be fleeting experiences, I feel like. But then again, something like a Phasmophobia is like wildly, or like what was the one y'all played? Content Warning was a knockoff of League of what's that game called?
I don't know.
You should know. It's the one that Content Warning was a knockoff of that y'all played a couple of times.
God.
Lethal Company.
Lethal Company. Yes.
Yeah. That's one that I think people play like all the time, but it kind of, you probably lose some of the scariness, right? Or, or the unknown, the fear of the unknown, and
right.
The effect of a well-timed local audio moment. Anyway.
Thanks, Tack. I appreciate your help the other day. I think, well, no, I'm not going to jinx it. I really won't know if Stalker 2 is truly fixed until maybe tomorrow at the earliest, but
I am recording again, by the way.
You've just been experiencing like the speed run of a Stalker experience, trying to get it to work, and
says the person who's played it for 23 hours. Shut up.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, I know what it's like to try to get a Stalker game working.
Yeah, I've played Stalker games, but I've never played them at launch. I've only ever played like the complete versions, like years later with like lots of community mods and
lots of community
mod
fixes.
packages, and
yeah.
It's like, oh,
I know.
Now your bullets will actually register all the time when you shoot at something instead of only sometimes.
Headshots actually work. Yeah. You're not instantly dead when you go through this door.
Yeah,
I feel you. Is everybody recording now?
I am. Where did this image come from, anyways? Is this an old one?
I'm recording.
Am I in this image? I don't think. Oh wait, no, I am. I see myself now. God damn it.
To me, though, all of these look like photoshops except for the crispy one.
This is from 2020.
From 2020,
really.
Yeah. All of these look like photoshops except for the crispy one, which I believe is just real.
Yep, that's my Christmas tree costume.
That's pretty good. All right. Roll call starts now, Brad.
Hello.
Crispy.
Hello.
Chris Davis.
Hello, I'm also here.
All right.
Do you think it's comfy to sleep in something like what I'm wearing in that picture? Do they take that off before
Yeah.
they get into the bed? They do.
Are you talking about
No.
the Scrooge, the Scrooge
sleep with- you
pajamas?
sleep with it
I sleep
on?
with that.
They
That's
sleep
a
with it
full-
on.
Yeah.
So you don't need a sheet, like you're wearing the sheet.
You have like a blanket, but like this is, this is also like, if you think of like England, it's probably cold
See,
at
that-
night
cold.
a lot more often than it is in Texas.
Yeah.
That makes me think.
okay.
That makes me think I would wake up in the middle of the night and it would be like the entire thing would be up around my chest. You know what I mean?
Maybe, but you sound like a violent sleeper if that's the case.
I might be. I mean, I do turn
Nick,
a lot.
Nick sleeps in the.
I
in
think
the
it's
nude.
mostly for like, just airing
Caught me
out,
bread.
airing out
I
the
can-
downstairs.
Out the goods.
airing out the goods. I mean, that's fair. I will say, like, I never sleep nude. Even after like
He's
relations, I will like put
I will get
clothes on
dressed.
because I'm terrified I might scratch my ass in the middle of the night. Is no one else afraid of like sleep
Scratch your
scratching their
ass?
ass?
Wait
No
a
one's
second.
afraid of-
You just-
Of sleep
Scratch-
scratching?
On
What are you talking
Scratch?
about?
What are
I'm
you what is-
saying, like, is there no fear that if you sleep naked, that you might, in your sleep, reach for your butt crack?
and
Like
do
if you have an
what?
itch or something. Like if you're scratching like in your butt area.
Bog Noise says finger up the butt by accident? Like, is that what you're worried?
Just like if you have an itch or something.
Do you not like wash yourself?
Do you not
Look,
cut your fingernails?
It don't matter how many times you wash. I don't trust that region. That's just how I am.
This is-
You should sleep naked, but have a glove in your
There
bedside
we go.
table.
There we go. But then what if I rub my eye?
Well,
Wouldn't
take
that
the
be-
glove off.
It's not just touching my butt region. It's that I might touch other places in my sleep. I don't know what happens when I'm
I
sleeping.
feel like you've got too many places that you're afraid of touching.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's mostly just the one, I think. It's mostly just the one. And
Wouldn't
then
that be really funny? I'm just picturing now, like Brad going to sleep, and he's like, I sleep in the nude, but he's just wearing a single
oven
glove.
mitts,
One
oven mitts is a
glove.
good one.
He's wearing oven mitts on both of his hands.
Just to tape them on.
I should try that. Like it
Oh my god! Just do that one night, and like don't even give context to Malia. Just be like, all right, good night.
I'm just saying the possibility of a random itch could cause tragedy, Pink eye in the morning.
Actually,
Who
really,
knows?
I'm so. Somebody Revixie in chat says poop glove, and that made me think of the poop knife conversation. I'm sorry, it's been so long since I've thought about that
I don't
conversation.
know. Maybe it's just because the seasons are changing. My skin is drier. I'm scratching more. It's a concern.
I'm so glad I'm recording all of this, and it is fucking staying in for the YouTube version.
I
Oh
don't
man,
think it's controversial or that concerning.
No,
or
it's-
that weird.
it's not. It's just funny. It's just one of those things that's just funny. It's like I've never thought about this. This is legitimately the first time, and I find it to be.
I mean,
humorous.
adults get
Okay.
pink eye, and it's probably because they're sleeping.
Yeah, that's why. That's
Well, I'm not saying that's why you get pink eye, Nick. We all know why you get pink eye.
Oh, moving on. Okay. Christopher Davis,
Hi.
tell us about Stalker 2.
Well,
I'm so
Stalker 2 is a pretty alright game. It's definitely not shit in your eye. But yeah, so I
that's
put
quite the
about
endorsement.
yeah, that's as glowing as you can get sometimes with a Eurojank game sometimes. I've put about 20, you said like 23, 24 hours? I haven't been
23
tracking.
hours according to Steam.
I haven't
um,
had time to
You could
focus
just
on
say
it,
20
really.
hours, 25 hours. What? It's so weird to say it like a weirdly specific number, but then say I don't really know what it is.
I mean, I only say it. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes I like to kind of pretend like I don't really know what it is because I don't want you jumping down my
Exactly.
throat for calling me weird for knowing the exact number of hours I've spent playing a game when I usually do know.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
just
I mean,
saying. Just
If
saying.
you know and you, that's not weird. If you just know exactly it because you looked at the time or whatever. That's not that weird.
Anyways.
So I've at my point in the game, I think I've just finished the equivalent of Act 1 of the narrative.
Okay.
I've wrapped
You are
up like
so.
what
I
they
think
do
it's
to the-
important to point out that you are like, you are what I would describe as the authority on Stalker here. You've played a lot of Stalker in the past. You have a history with the series.
Yeah.
More so than I do. I played Stalker.
Pripyat. You played some Pripyat.
Call of Pripyat.
Call of
Pripyat.
Call of Pripyat. Sorry, I was suddenly I was like, oh my god, I can't remember the subtitle.
Yeah, we did that as a game of the month thing.
For the Revival Club. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I played it. But even years later, that game was kind of jank. But undeniably intriguing.
Not jank anymore, right, Nick?
Oh, it's still a little jank.
Oh, it's
still a
jank,
little-
just in a very different way.
It's jank in a very playable way.
Yeah.
Like, you can very much play that game and have a great time.
Yeah, this is very much another sequel in the Stalker series in the best and worst ways possible. It's trying its best to present an actual like good narrative, or at least a good, well presented
cinematic
narrative.
Cinematic.
Like
it's a more cinematic experience.
I wouldn't
than
even
any
call it
rock-
necessarily cinematic.
And what are you talking about?
I'm talking about like instead of reading dialogue boxes to get plot progression, instead you now have characters talking to you like something out of Fallout.
It's which is more of something we've come to expect
With
from
voice,
just
more
modern
voice acting,
games,
is
right?
what you're saying. Well,
I mean-
dialogue conversations, like back and forth, that kind of thing?
I mean, yeah. Your character talks with one another. You got dialogue trees. Well, not even dialogue trees, like limited dialogue selections with each character.
But I mean, that existed in the old Stalker games. It just
but
wasn't...
it was 95% text.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more voice acting here, which is
they're
just
older games. Yeah, for sure.
There and to
But like
Chris's
also
point,
other RPGs back then weren't like fully voice acted.
but also to Chris's point, I think. Sorry, that felt weird. To Chris Davis's point,
Ah, damn it, Nick.
so there was
Thought I had
like in the very limited amount of time I have managed to play this game, there is a certain I don't know what that makes it feel more. I definitely don't want to use the word polished right now, anyways. But there is definitely another layer of I don't know. There's a cinematic quality to it that is.
It's more modern, maybe. I mean, the Stalker games are
it
older.
certainly feels.
These are
It
old
certainly
games.
feels modern. It feels like it has a place in like modern gaming. It does not feel like something. It does not feel like a remnant of the past. In some ways it might. Chris Davis can attest to that more than I can at this point. But yeah, they've definitely stepped up their game in terms of presentation and just meeting expectations for like what a modern first-person shooter is, especially a modern open-world first-person shooter, which is what this game is. I was very much like leading up to this kind of for months, just kind of like, well, what is this? Is this like, should I expect like kind of the scope of like Call of Pripyat, or is this much bigger? Is this linear? I have no fucking clue what this is. It's very much an enormous open world.
It absolutely is. But the cool thing about it is that the enormous open world is pretty much every Stalker map that has ever been made.
Kind of like smooshed into one, without seamless, right? Like you're not loading into those zones. Like it's all just kind of like connected.
Yeah, it's all connected, all logically put together.
It's the maps of the previous games.
Yeah, dude, I remember
as best as I can remember. Yes.
Dude, there was the first time they really showed like a lengthy demo of this game. There was like a 20 to 30 minute breakdown of it. And I watched the whole thing, and they were talking about like if you've played Stalker, I forgot it would not call it Pripyat, one of the other ones, and they're like, and you probably recognize this church because this all, and they basically said all the maps for these games have been faithfully connected and recreated to the best of our ability. And they were
I mean,
talking
that's-
about you
that's a
probably
cool thing.
recognize this landmark, and I'm like, that's pretty fucking neat.
It is.
I'm not gonna get a lot of those references because I only played Call of Pripyat, but like that's
Do
really
you ever
fucking
get
cool.
so? Does it feel really big? Do you have any interesting ways of getting around?
Oh, it feels fucking huge. And there's, apart from finding a guide at only very specific settlements, like there's no fast travel in this game.
But I mean, you're not like getting on a bike and
There's no
No.
vehicles. You are
You're hoofing
walking
it. You're
everywhere.
hoofing it.
Yeah.
But
maybe a
but like
bicycle.
no, but like it's the things, and this is like the what little I can maybe attest to here is because that's kind of the bulk of what I've experienced so far. Is like I've probably at this point traversed a very small percentage of this map, but like the amount of like just cool shit that has happened while hoofing it in that across that very small space is pretty crazy. Between the various anomalies that I've come across, in like just like skirmishes that I've gotten into in the fucking dark, which feel like really we like to use this term here a lot, and it's like some of my favorite combat in any game. I always like to describe as like scrappy. Like it feels very much like holy shit, just barely making it out of these things alive. And like when you've managed to like take down a group of dudes and you're like bleeding out before you, like right, and at the last second you're like bandaging yourself up. Like that shit feels so good in this
Enemies are
game.
very
It's like,
dead, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And it's, and
is
as
it
far
like?
as-
Does this feel like you're playing this like a fucking Dragon's Dog? I mean, you're just like there's a main thread, but you're just wandering and seeing what shit you're gonna get into. Like, oh, there's some relic over here. Probably, I'm gonna.
I mean, you
find
can, but you're also finding like side quests and shit. Like you go into like little settlements and you meet people, and they almost everyone has like things that they can like quests they can give you,
and
and
they're
whatnot.
like putting waypoints on your map and shit.
I mean, only if there's a quest line that says go here to do X, Y, or Z. And that's fairly common.
I've turned off like the mini map HUD, so if I want to look at a map, I actually have to pull out my PDA and like there you can kind of see. But like
I never
when
had a mini map.
yeah, okay, well, you have to turn it off by default. I mean, I think it's turned on by default, but I turned it off so you can pull out the PDA to look at your map, and you can see the markers on that map. But as soon as you put the PDA away, there's nothing. There's no indicator. I mean, you can probably turn one on. I'm trying to go pretty minimalistic in terms of HUD, while also not making it completely unmanageable in terms of like having any idea where I am.
Yeah.
So like I can still check my map for reference just to kind of get a direction and then walk in that direction, but I'm not constantly walking out in the world and like walking towards a waypoint. And I think there's a lot of freedom there to kind of like tailor that to whatever you want.
There
Chris
is.
Davis.
Yeah.
Chris Davis. Let me ask. You said this is like Stalker, and like it's a Stalker game in the good ways and the bad ways. The outside of like launch issues, like in terms of like game design, what are the bad I have not read much up on this game. From what I understood, the people who are actually able to play it are having a good time. I know the reviews probably reflected some of the launch issues, right? But
I think so, yeah.
what are people saying about the game, like critically otherwise? Like aside from those issues, are the people who can play it, like are they like critics as well? Like did this nail what it was trying to do? Is this feel like Stalker 2?
I mean, I'll be honest here. I haven't been paying attention to what people have been saying. I've just been experiencing the game and just going for it.
Well, I'm asking. Okay, then I'll ask you. Like, is this? You had some concerns about this game, right?
I did,
because of the developers and development.
Yes.
Like, did they nail the assignment?
I think they've done 90 to 95% of what they need to do here.
Okay.
There's
I'm
things
curious
they
about the 5%.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm pretty familiar with those old Stalker games and like what made them great. So that's why I'm asking more. I'm more curious about the 5% or whatever that you're saying they
Well,
did not.
it's things that they've marketed and promised as being a part of the game that are not here at launch. There's this whole system that did not make it to launch called, I think, like A Life or something like that, A Life 2.0. And the idea, it was very smart NPC AI that was not procedurally driven, but like smart enough to where it actually cares about their own livelihood and things like that. They're not dumb spawns across the map. They're just happening.
Self-preservation. Yeah.
That's not in here, and
describe
GSC has
what you
said
mean.
they're working on that, but it's not going to be there for a while.
So it's not there, so they have no self-preservation? Like, what does that mean exactly?
I mean, they're just kind of like, I wouldn't say they're necessarily dumb NPCs, but they're not necessarily running for cover away from you that much. They're not
fear.
They're not fleeing from you, things like that.
The AI kind of sucks, is what you're saying.
Well,
I think it's more of because I've had some.
You can mask bad AI by just making it really aggressive.
Yeah,
I think that is what's happening here. I could be wrong.
That's my primary complaint with this game is that there is a misbalance with how the combat currently works. This game, like the previous Stalker games, is very like tough when it comes to a combat encounter. A headshot will kill you easily. So you gotta be very careful about your firefights, how you engage, how you hide, and things like that. The problem is that it leans too hard into that, in my opinion. The very first mutant you fight in this game is a bloodsucker.
Bitch. And he's a bitch.
The bloodsucker in the previous Stalker games, like, they were like practically mini bosses. Like, they were rare encounters that could easily kick your ass. And in this, not only is it the first enemy you fight in the game, like, I'm encountering them at least once per hour, and usually in packs of 2 to 3 of them at once. So they're
scary.
running around the map. They're mostly invisible. You can see the outline of them.
They're the predator.
They're predators. They're sprinting around invisible. They're jumping on you. And by the time you actually, if you're in a bad spot, you don't have good lighting, you don't have good track of the environment, like, they will just sprint at you like duck running and then just jump on you and knock you to the ground and take half your health away, then run away. And if there's another one, they just fucking pile on, man. Like, you will die.
It can be really hard.
Was it frustrating, or like it's just frustrating? You're not like scared in a good way to go certain places because of these things? Or?
I mean, there's not been an encounter with a pack of bloodsuckers or a bloodsucker in which I haven't succeeded, but it's come pretty close most of the time. But here's the other balancing problem with this game is that you have your inventory management you have to do, and ammo and health items, they weigh quite a bit. And for an enemy like a bloodsucker, which could take upwards of like 10, 12 shotgun rounds to kill, like, you run out of ammo real fast, but you also can't hold that much ammo because you have this weight restriction going on. So it's this.
So there's definitely balancing to be done.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've gotten soft, man.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you right now, that was the first mod that I installed for this game was having the weight of health and ammo.
That's the real Stalker experience there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say this. I think it's good that I now know that mod exists. I'm not going to go use it immediately, but I'm glad I know it exists.
Let me tell you, it felt pretty good playing all of Dragon's Dogma 2 without the ability to do mods, because but like at the same time, man, some people had a much easier, different experience by playing Dragon's Dogma 2 on PC. And I feel like not being able to install these mods kind of makes you like my finders. Nick, this is off topic, but you remember the finders token, like when you on the Sphinx quest?
Yes.
You were able to watch a video to eventually you found yours, right?
Yes.
Man, I found mine on the night of the 7th day like almost like randomly. I almost shit bricks when I found it. I kind of given up, honestly, and then I stumbled across it. People were just using mods to tell them exactly where that shit was on the map. You know,
I mean, it
People
was
played
kind
on
of ridiculous.
PC.
It was kind of an absurd ask.
Yeah, but good, man.
Specifically, for those of you who aren't aware, in Dragon's Dogma 2, there's a quest that you can only complete because you're collecting these tokens throughout the world, right? And like the only way to complete this quest is to the last one, because I forgot how many there are.
That's
There's a
the
bunch
last
of them.
one, actually. That's the first set of questions. You can encounter the Sphinx again.
Well, the last
But yeah, I
one
know
you
what
pick up has to be is back where you
First,
the first.
you
I don't know.
This
But you don't
there's
know
a Sphinx
what it
question that
is.
says where in the world did you pick up the first of these items, these special items?
That's where you need to go.
It's
But
a
it doesn't
crazy
say-
request. She's like, you've got 7 days to figure it out. Crazy request, but like just having to think back to like your journey when you first started it is like a cool feeling, a cool thing.
Yeah, but nobody was paying attention to that shit. Anyway, sorry, this is a huge tangent. Let's get back to Stalker.
Yeah.
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 I-
Mods.
Another thing I'm not certain about yet, because again, I think I've only traversed like maybe a third of the map overall. Because it is a huge map, but there's a lot of it that's like fogged over, so you don't know like what's up there.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be that a good portion of the map is like stat locked to where you have to have because of narrative reasons, like certain equipment to progress into those areas. I won't be too specific, but there's an area that you have to go through for the main quest line, but you have to have this kind of suit if you want to do it, or you got to have a shitload of pills. And there is that level of freedom, like okay, I can go scrounge up pills, or I can go do this side quest to get this protective suit. But at the same time, like it is.
But like that's kind of the only way. You want more freedom in a game that gives you this much freedom? I mean, I feel like that's kind of wild, because like when you think about how big the map is, and you're talking about how there's like one area where they're like, we want to hold you back from going in here until you've done a certain thing in the story. I feel like that's not like, I don't feel like that's a huge ask. You know what I mean? Because there's so much to do on this map, and there's so many side stories to take in, and there is so much freedom you have, and there's some really early on, like there's some really cool side quests that you go on.
Yeah. And there's just a lot of like native on the map like mysteries to go find that are just so fucking cool.
Emergent gameplay. It's very Red Dead Redemption in that way. Like that's the reason that I've always I love Red Dead. Sorry, don't make that face at me.
Well,
Chris
I don't think of Red Dead when I think of emerging gameplay, but I guess
I'm talking about Red Dead Redemption 2 specifically has like, and the reason why it's my favorite game of all time is like there's so many just like stumbling across little stories that you weren't expecting to find out in the wild. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying it's done the exact same way.
You run
but
across a guy that is shoeing his horse, and you interrupt him, and the horse kills him by kicking him.
Well, like yeah, but
you don't have that in this. Instead, what you have
that's
is
not
like,
what I consider emergent stuff, but
yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Like the emergent stuff so far for me in this game is I'm walking through an area, and I either encounter a pack of bandits, I encounter some mutants, or I stumble into a firefight between XYZ faction. Like, there's nothing in here that feels emergent. At least in my personal opinion. But there's
emergent being like, to be clear here, like the stories that happen through like gameplay, not the stories that are being put there by the creators of the game, right?
I think
the grenade rolls down the hill kind of moment.
I think we're just having a disagreement on the use of the word.
Okay. Well, I don't need to. Okay. No,
I'm just saying there is a lot.
What y'all are referring to.
There is a lot to experience in this game, in this world, that isn't linked to the main quest. That is just, and they're like really cool stories. Like I just did a side quest like the other day before my fucking PC shit the bed. That was basically like go to this poppy field, and you go to I found the poppy field, and you talk to a dude, but like I'm walking through this poppy field and I'm starting to like hallucinate,
Fall asleep.
and then you talk to this guy and you're like, what you need is out here in this poppy field, but like people who walk, there's an anomaly in the field. You walk into this field and you're going to like fall asleep and you're never going to wake up. So you can like find a suit that will allow you to kind of go into it without worrying about it, or you can be chugging energy drinks. So I'm like running through this field frantically trying to find shit while my eyes are getting heavy, which you can actually like see happening. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking pass out. So I'm like literally chugging energy drinks as I'm running through the field like a crazy person. And like that kind of shit is just like you could totally miss that. You could totally not do that.
I mean,
and
I
that's the kind of
consider
shit I'm
that
talking
like
about.
I consider that like a bespoke moment. Like,
Yeah.
I don't consider that a merchant. Like another bespoke moment, I found a cottage in the middle of the woods, and I won't go into details, but Grandma's cottage is worth visiting if you can find it. Shit goes down. It's really fun. And then there's like, just dynamic. Sometimes there's like really cool dynamic encounters with certain enemies that have never been in a Stalker game before. Brand new enemies, like Das Ubermus, as I like to call it.
I'm sorry, what?
Das Ubermus.
Okay.
You'll know when you see it. You'll know when
Okay.
you see Das Ubermus.
If I ever get to that point.
Oh yeah, you'll get there. You'll know it.
If I can get it to run, is what I'm saying.
The coolest content.
German for gilf. A lot goes down in Grandma's cottage. Am I right?
Oh
Didn't
my
go-
god.
that's not what I
He
meant.
went there. He went there.
Well, he's the one excited about her cottage. I don't know what's going on.
We have talked this long about Stalker 2, and I haven't heard you use the word emission once.
Well, okay, so you want to talk about missions? We'll fucking talk about missions.
I
So
want to talk about night
There's
emissions.
nighttime emissions.
Nocturnal
I don't know
emissions.
Nocturnal emissions.
stemming from sticking your finger in your butt during the middle of the night.
Oh
Okay,
my god.
That's
wow.
Call back. Okay, so emissions are probably the coolest fucking thing in the entire Stalker franchise to me. For the initiated,
nail
it
it?
is a randomly generated storm that happens in the previous games about once per day. That anything that's outside of like a safe area, like inside like a thick building or something, everything outside dies, and it replenishes all the artifacts on the map for you to go hunting for. Emissions are here in this game, but they're much less frequent, and it feels like they're more narratively triggered than actual like random events.
I feel like that might be the byproduct of the map being more open. I don't know. I mean, I've only experienced
disagree.
one so far. I've only experienced one so far, so I don't know. I could be
It's
wrong.
less systemic. Then that's like a less. That's not cool. But whatever.
That is,
I mean,
it was.
This is a game I really want to play, but I can't run this shit on my PC. I don't think.
It's well, wait, give it a few more patches and then maybe consider doing something about that.
Or just play it on PlayStation.
Yeah,
This is on
it's
console.
on Xbox.
Yeah, this is on. Is it not on PlayStation?
No, it was a Microsoft exclusive for a while.
Oh shit! Never mind.
Yeah.
Don't play it on console because
Well, I'm
Brad
sure.
doesn't own an Xbox.
But by the time it comes, who does? By the time it comes out, or by the time it's in good shape, maybe that's when it will come out on PlayStation.
Pretty much, yes. That's exactly what's going to happen. But yeah, the emissions, they're fucking cool in this game. They're a slightly different interpretation from Clear Sky and Call of Pripyat, but it's still this massive storm with lightning striking and the sky going red and a wave of wind and stuff coming at you. In the distance,
You gotta
it
Head
looks
for
cool.
shelter.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
100%. And like Call of Pripyat and Clear Sky, like if an emission happens outside the world, you will be pointed to the nearest potential safe shelter.
Yeah.
But because it's not
hope there's not
because
a
it's a
mutant in
narrative
there.
driven aspect, like it's really disappointing to me.
I get that. Like stuff like that means so much more when it's not scripted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could comment on it. I've only experienced one, and I wasn't really paying attention to whether it was narratively triggered or not. I don't think it felt that way to me because I wasn't doing like a main story quest when it happened, but I was doing a side quest. But I don't know if it would have happened at the same time if I had, done the side quest over again. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't have a point of reference.
Let me
What I
specify.
can-
It's not fully narratively driven, but most of them that I've experienced have been narratively driven. Like I think I've only had like 2, maybe 3 maximum that have been just random out in the world experiences.
Okay.
Maybe as you get further, it's more.
I will say this: hearing you
Maybe.
say like in the past, it's something that felt like it happened once a day.
No, it did happen once a day.
I know, but like that sound, like knowing that it happens once a day makes it less compelling to me. Like hearing you say that it's less frequent here, but it does still happen means it could happen at any time, and it doesn't happen often.
Knowing that there's like a looming threat coming at all times.
Well, I mean, but to me, it knowing that it's not going to happen like clockwork every day means that I always have to kind of be ready for it. And when it does happen, it feels more special, quote unquote, because it doesn't happen as often.
If it's systemic, sure, but
it sounds like it is still systemic. It's just been they're doing it less frequently.
Well, here's the real problem, in my opinion, is that and I can't speak to Clear Sky because I didn't actually play Clear Sky. I've only done Call of Pripyat and Shadow Chernobyl. In Call of Pripyat, there was the buildup of tension and the forewarning signs of an emission coming. The world would slowly get a little darker. The sound would get a little bit more muted. You'd hear like a distant bass rumble. Like you could tell something's going to happen pretty soon.
Right.
You don't have that in this. You basically just get like a radio warning and the weather starts changing. So that level of dread and anticipation, like that was critical to the emission experience, in my opinion, and it's not implemented well in this.
Okay, that is a little disappointing, but what I can comment on at this point is that I have spent more time in this game doing just exploration and kind of doing things kind of organically, and it probably amounts to like 3 hours of solid gameplay, and the kind of scrappy moment to moment encounters that I've had in that limited time have been some of the best I've had with a first person shooter, I think, just in general, in a long time. Like kind of like I was walking through this like derelict factory, kind of like that's kind of it's outdoors, and I was like walking on this catwalk, and it was nighttime, and all of a sudden I just kind of out of the corner of my eye saw like what I thought was like a flashlight kind of moving, and I turned and looked, and there was like a patrol of these like from this faction. I guess I think they were
bandits, maybe
bandits or whatever. But I could see them. It was pitch black. It was like Dragon's Dogma, and they were just walking along, and I could see their flashlights. And I was like, "Holy fuck! I hope they don't notice me." So I turned my flashlight off, and then someone shot at me. And all of a sudden, I was in this firefight. It was pitch black at night, and the only way I knew I was hitting my target was because when I hit them, you would see their flashlight like go like suddenly look straight up in the air, like they were falling over, like because they were falling backwards. And then the light would go out, and I did this entire skirmish that way, and I had to like bandage myself up like 2 or 3 times in the middle of that, and my heart was like beating out of my chest. I was like, "Holy shit!" And I survived, and I was like, "That was crazy." And like those are the moments that like, that's what I'm here for.
Speaking of, do you think this game seems like it's doing really well? And do you think there's like younger people playing this? How should I say this? Do you think anyone has called this single player PUBG yet?
No.
I bet some.
Yes.
I bet that has been said on the internet.
Then that is an uneducated, dumb child.
Well, yes, but Brad's probably right.
It's clearly single player Tarkov, though.
Okay, well.
Oh.
Well,
God damn it, Crispy.
Tarkov. Well, okay, that's also very popular. I was trying to appeal to the most mainstream of youth.
But I guess, Chris Davis, if I had to ask you one question, considering now that you've played a significant chunk of this, would you say, as a Stalker fan, you feel pretty good about this now? Overall? I'm not asking you to give it like a score. I'm just saying like
I'm feeling
You had some-
positive about it. I'm feeling optimistic for where the game wants to go because it does have some interesting narrative implications. But I need this game to get more patches. I need to get more balance changes. And I need to experience more of the world.
Which they are cranking out patches pretty. They've done 3 in a week, which is, and today's patch was 23 gigabytes, so pretty hefty patch.
I want you to hop in your time machine, Chris Davis. Go back to 2007, one Mr. Christopher Davis, and tell him,
great year.
Tell him that you're more of a Life is Strange kind of guy these days. What would he say to that?
He would probably ask, "What is Life is Strange, and how can I play it?"
What happened to you, man?
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. He would use that rocket launcher and blast you away.
Now he would probably have to figure out time to fit in between matches of COD 4, but no, yeah, he would definitely play it.
You know, final thought about Stalker 2 that I'll say, because I again can't contribute a whole lot to this, but I will say it's pretty clear right out of the gate that there really just isn't many games like this these days, and I think that is kind of the big takeaway. You're right; they are. Most of them are probably multiplayer.
You say that, but like this ain't that different than like fucking Fallout or something, right? I mean, let's be real here. Scavenging for shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a certain element of it that's certainly like Fallout, but there is something really like.
I guess Fallout doesn't really.
Combat feels so organic. I think for me, it's just combat feels so organic. There's anomalies are just such a unique thing, and like having to throw the bolts to like to detect anomalies. And I got an achievement the other day for luring an enemy and then using an anomaly to like take out an enemy, which I did totally accidentally, but like that shit's pretty cool when it happens. Especially if you like happen to like lure them into like one of those like anomalies that's like a tornado and it like sucks them up and throws them. Like that shit's neat.
There's also like the Metro series, a Metro game just came out this year. I'm not trying to like throw shade, but like half the games and developed.
But I'm not saying I'm not
set in Chernobyl. I feel like these days.
I'm not even talking about the setting. I'm not talking about the setting. I'm specifically talking about a open single player, very quote unquote systemic style first person shooter that is like just committed to being that.
That's good. Like, I mean, I was kind of bummed about the Metro series because it was less like this. So, and I was worried that Stalker 2 was going to be more like a Metro
more
game.
Of a Metro.
So I'm glad that it is still a Stalker game.
I love that. I love Metro, but for completely different reasons.
Yeah, they're two very different tastes.
But yeah, this is pretty
cool.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I'm hoping this patch sticks.
So this sounds like this might, for you, Nick, it might dethrone.
Oh, stop trying to like get me to like talk.
I think what's in your number? What's in your running?
What bugs me the most about this, Braz? I really don't think you give a shit one way or the other. You're just trying to like.
You're mad because I can figure it out. Usually, that's all it is, and you like to make it a big secret.
I just don't know what you want me. Like, I don't sit here and grill you on whether you think
the game's that care.
Do you think Kill Point Nova is gonna beat UFO 50? Like, come on, man.
No chance. You're not invested because you don't care about those games.
You're just trying to make. That's not. I watch every one of your top 10 videos. Believe it or not.
You probably skim.
I don't actually. In fact, I often like that's. I'll put it on as like I'll watch it while I'm at work and shit. Like it makes my day fly. I love it. You bitch.
Anyways, go see them like 2012 tomorrow at work while you're working.
Sure, I'll do that.
2012 was a good year.
I'll go back and watch every one of your top 10 videos tomorrow, Brad, and I'll report back. I'll just randomly start pinging you in Discord about like commenting on something that you said back in 2012.
I don't think I'm gonna reciprocate. We're transitioning. Can I say that Malia was telling me some Dexter news today, and she was like reading some shit, and
I really
then
hate that.
there was
Okay,
a
never mind.
jump scare. You hate Dexter?
No, just keep going. What?
She
Keep
was
going.
reading
What do you...
Dexter news, and she was telling, and she got a jump scare because it was written by Nick Henderson. And she was like, "What the fuck?
Oh, that's
I
funny.
didn't know you were still like writing Dexter articles."
Yeah, I am writing one right now.
How many?
She was like, "What the fuck?"
How many Dexter
'Cause she's a
correspondents
Dexter
could there
fan,
be
so-
out there?
It's
She keeps
literally
up with
me and
Dexter stuff.
it's literally me and one other person on that site.
It's
But
just funny that she was relaying Dexter news from you.
that's actually, I love that. That's
Incredible.
fucking
Okay.
awesome.
I have a clarifying question. I need to understand, Nick. It's
Okay.
called Dexter Daily. Is there a
Yes.
daily article about Dexter?
No,
When the show when there are actively new episodes coming, yes, almost pretty much every day. But like the site was like basically stagnant for like 10 years and then came back to life.
So like
So,
if it's a 10 episode season, there's at least 70 articles going up.
Dude, go just scroll. You'll see he literally posts every little tidbit of news. Like
That's a lot.
every single one. But you know, it's worked in our favor, man. We invited to the premiere because of that shit. Like
true. I
No,
don't think there's a
yeah.
lot of like new Dexter news
sh-
sites right
today-
now Dexter on the.
today
There you
a
go.
person from Paramount / Showtime sent us a thing about an hour
Oh,
before
are
it
you
went-
going to like the premiere of this new one?
No.
Or you
I'm
already
not.
premiered, or when's the?
No, actually there was an opportunity. It wasn't the same kind of thing. It wasn't like a red carpet premiere.
What
They
are
were
they
doing, like-
offering you to shill it, Nick?
No. There was like you could pay to go to like a screening and do a Q&A with the cast, and it was a day before the premiere, like the actual premiere, and I was like, it was so stressful last time. I can wait the day.
Hmm.
Anyways,
Yeah, but you got that
cool.
picture with the cast, and you had a hell of a time.
Yeah. I did. I have. And
She
I
was
continue to
referencing-
love it.
Some article you wrote like in September, or some theory you had, or some shit.
Which has now
Yeah.
been proven correct.
Yeah, that's
I
why
was
she brought it
right.
up. She was
Yeah.
just talking about it.
Oh man, that makes my heart warm. Thank you.
Well, she didn't say it was written exceptionally
You-
well. No,
She was appalled. No,
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
but that's cool. Anyways, hey, what's going on with Fantasy Critic? It's December.
I mean, it's over
I'm
for,
out.
for as far as number one.
I
but
think
number
I'm out. I'm bleeding points.
No, number two's a tough
I'm out. I
one.
hate Fantasy Critic.
I'm just doing my best not to end up in last place.
who's in the running for number two? What's it looking like? It's a close one, right? There's
you and
games still
Nolan.
coming.
You and Nolan are neck and neck.
We're not neck and neck. You
Okay,
are
maybe
not
neck and
paying
neck.
attention.
But you are the two front runners.
I don't
right?
know.
Yes.
There's only one clear thing, and that's that I have won this year. Now,
Yes.
I'm curious
Again.
about where number two is going to land.
Okay, so first place Brad currently with 153 points. Second place Nolan with 110. Third place Crispy with 105. Fourth place Carlos with 103. Fifth place Ed with 95.
I've fallen
Sixth
behind
place
Ed.
Nick with 93.
But what are the
And
games
last
still
place
to come
me
out?
with 83.
What are the games still to come out?
Marvel Rivals,
Yeah.
Indiana
Um,
Jones, Monument
yeah,
Valley, Power Rangers, Spirit of the Samurai, Alien, Rift of the Necrodancer.
No, Rich of the Necrodancer has been
Anthem-
delayed officially.
Yeah. And has
Oh,
no
well,
one
he hasn't
He
dropped
never
it yet.
dropped it.
Yeah.
He hasn't
But
dropped
he can't replace it.
Anton
He is-
Blast Symphonia.
He is a little busy.
Yeah.
Behemoth. Did Behemoth score?
It's not out yet.
No, it is not scored. No, I think reviews
it's
are.
out same day
Friday
as-
or
yeah,
Thursday,
it's
Friday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so there's still games getting scores. I
Yeah,
think Chris
yeah.
Davis has a chance at number two. If Monument
fucking
Valley
way.
gets reviews, if Monument Valley gets reviews,
You say Chris Davis? You think Crispy?
Yes, because he still has Indiana Jones. Well, Crispy has Rivals, right? Or no, who got Rivals? Ed? No,
Ed.
Crispy's all of Crispy's games are out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the
Yeah.
only one that has all my games scored.
So, but Chris Davis has Indiana Jones and Monument Valley. Now, Monument Valley, I think, has a good chance of not actually getting enough reviews by the end of the year, just because it's like a fucking mobile game, right? But Indiana Jones could do
me.
well. What are your points at, Chris Davis?
I'm at 84 currently.
Okay, and Nolan's at what? The problem with Nolan is that he has an empty
Nolan's
spot now. That
currently
I
at
don't think he's going to be able
111.
to. He's not
Yeah.
going to fill, and he has a game that actually needs more critic reviews. Now, I've told him that game has reviews on Metacritic that are not on OpenCritic, like a few, and I'm not sure if they're top critics or not. But all he needs to do is drop those links into OpenCritic, and they might catch. Because it has a submit a review link thing. He needs to do that. I don't know if they're top critics or not, but he might get a score for that game that's on his list. He has some indie game that doesn't have a score. It only has like one top critic, I think, right now. But otherwise,
I
don't know.
I think what I'm
so
happy
maybe
about.
it was not up in the air. Well, Nick still has potential. I mean,
I still don't understand how you think he
still has
could.
potential, Behemoth.
Oh fuck. See, yeah. I still have Spirit of the Samurai, Symphonia, and Power Rangers, but
Now, I think so. Power Rangers could score like an 85 or something. So
It does look pretty-
I think
pretty good.
and you also counter Behemoth though. Behemoth might score well, but it could be a tragedy. You could gain points on that. Who knows?
Or it
with
might
that,
not
but
score at all, apparently.
it'll get a score because that's a hotly anticipated VR game. So it'll get a score. Trust me. Also, you have to take that -7 at the end of the year from.
I know.
So yeah, I don't know. So maybe Nolan has like clinched number 2, but we still never discussed what number 2's prize is. We just agreed that there should be something.
Yeah, we did that thing where it
We
didn't
are
seem like
so
we needed
bad at setting like this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we are. We're terrible at
Like
it.
before draft night, and it's really kind of frustrating, but whatever.
Well, maybe there's. You know what I think? I think there's too many cooks in the kitchen trying to make a decision. I think.
Well,
Brett,
it was
maybe-
agreed. We just sort of said we're just going to repeat last year as far as the pot. We also agreed that there would be an actual pot before the end of the year, of which there is still not.
Yeah,
So
dropping
who the fuck
balls left and
knows?
right.
But I don't know. I want there to be stakes. So I want. Yeah, I say that now, right? That's silly,
Brad, let's talk about it tomorrow and try and make a decision by the end of the week.
So
yeah.
Okay, so we have figured out the prize for second place, but the loser has to play the worst game on their list, right? Still.
So
Yes.
first and last, from what I understand, we just copy pasted from last year. So and last year it was they have to play the worst game on the list, but it was only like, and they had to stream it.
Yeah.
And
the only reason I remember it
last,
now
it could be
wasn't last
Ed. Is Ed
place.
gonna stream his Flintlock or whatever the fuck got his worst score? I mean, I don't know.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
You got to do it, Ed.
You have no choice. You've got to do
You
it.
have no choice. I mean, we
Um,
can't. The rules have to be rules. We can't just throw this shit out. Otherwise, there's no stakes, and no one's gonna
You're right.
care.
You're right.
anymore.
You're right, Brad. We'll be better.
I have
We'll be
agreed.
better.
I have agreed that I will stay out. Y'all can tweak all the levers for next year. All y'all want. I will stay out of those
Tweak all
deliberations
the
completely.
levers.
If y'all want to blast remix into the stratosphere or whatever, early access, whatever y'all want to do, y'all can even put me in last place of the draft. I don't care. But I still can't be like seriously handicapped. That's not fair, right?
No, of
Like
course
we
not.
have
Of
to
course
be on
not.
an even. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
We should.
Look,
we should.
Yeah, we can move on. We'll talk. We will make a decision on these final details this week. God damn it! I swear to God, and we will let everybody know what the outcome of that is. But now, guys, I think it is time for us to wrap up the show with a 4-player minute. So, Brad,
Okay, I'll go first.
what are your final
We'll say,
thoughts?
as my final thought, I'm not saying that like I'm like so good at Fantasy Critic or whatever. I do think I got really lucky at a couple of places this year, and it paid off big.
You're still in the first place.
I'm more
even with
just
Hollow
I'm more
Knight.
just responding to like what like White Burrow is saying, or what I just said actually about I'll stay out of deliberations. I just don't want y'all to think there's any sort of like funny business where I'm like tweaking settings to benefit
The only
me
person
somehow.
saying that I think is you. I don't think anyone.
I know, but
I
I don't want anyone to think that, because we've definitely gotten to screaming matches about rules in the past.
Nobody in our community should think that unless we are expressing that opinion, which I don't think we are.
Now I will say, for my actual final thought, it's more about PC games. I've been thinking a lot about the state of my PC, which is now it's coming up on 8 years old.
Dang.
It's crazy, and I build it literally before I had children, and it was expensive at the time, I guess, but now my expenses are just kind of different, and it's harder to justify
Right.
a big expense. And PC gaming especially seems so much more expensive. People in Discord today were talking about what the prices might be on this 5000 series Nvidia cards, and I'm like, who has that sort of disposable income? That seems absurd. Like it feels like different being a enthusiast PC gamer now than it used to be like 8 years ago, right? The thing is, for the past 8 years, I've been able to like no problem play all of the games I've wanted to play on PC. And now we're getting to the point where like, I don't know. Like Stalker's on Game Pass, which is great, right? Because I have PC Game Pass. That's where I get most of my PC games, and plus we have our Steam free family, right? So I get a lot of PC games. I get a lot of access to a lot of games on PC. But I didn't even bother installing Stalker 2. It's just, I think it's just too, the state of Stalker 2 right now, but I don't think my PC is going to run it. Now, but I'm eyeing like Avowed. Avowed is a game that I believe is going to stay on Xbox, at least for now.
I think it's a timed exclusive, yeah.
Because I know like Indiana Jones is going to come to PlayStation, right? But Avowed is a game. I mean, the new Obsidian RPG. I absolutely want to be there on launch day, although it is launching around Monster Hunter, which is a bad idea. But like, Avowed can only move so many times before. I don't think it's going to find its spot. I think it might struggle no matter what, honestly. But like, Avowed is a game I absolutely want to play day one, and it's not the most probably. I mean, I'm sure I'll be able to run it, but I've definitely been thinking about like graphics cards and stuff, and just looking at these prices, I'm like, I don't see a future where I'm like building a new PC anytime soon. Even like updating the graphics card, people are like, oh, maybe you could get by with like a fucking just get one that has DLSS, and you'll be fine. But like even those, I'm on a 1080 right now, right? People were linking me like eBay links for like 37.
For what it's worth,
still like multiple hundreds of dollars. I'm like, come on, man, what the fuck is going on here? Like,
for what everything you're saying,
I was just trying to get a little more juice out of a graphics card, but even those prices seem rough.
For what it's worth, and I'm obviously not like the authority on building PCs. I still look to Chris and Nolan to help me. Sorry, that sounded so fucking weird. Chris Davis and Nolan.
I'm not going to build a PC. Let's be clear. I'm talking about just maybe upgrading my graphics card. Even though my processor is like really old, and who knows if it even works with my motherboard. But I just want a little more juice, maybe, if I can
I'm just
find
saying
a deal. But it sounds like these deals don't exist.
There's just, I feel like I'm just saying, financially speaking, there's like probably an ideal way to go about it, which is like do it piecemeal, do it over period of months, like buy one piece at a time, and on like bigger purchases, like
finances work. I mean,
just saying. I mean, start saving. I don't know.
It's not saving. The money's there. I'm saying it would be really stupid for me to spend it on like overpriced PC parts. And I don't see that philosophically changing anytime soon. It is not about the amount of money I have. It is about life choices. And it has gotten absurd. Like the prices of these cards, especially, have gotten
You're right.
absurd. And
It
I
has.
don't
It
know.
actually has.
I don't
Well, I told you if I end up upgrading my card, I will sell you mine on the cheap. I just need a little bit of cash. So
why
I
are
can
you doing that
offset.
before Avowed comes out? And that's the
Maybe.
thing.
I don't know.
That card that you have is not. That's
No,
a
it's not bad. No, it's
hefty
fine.
card. I'm gonna plug it into this thing with a 8-year-old processor, and it's gonna like bottleneck the shit out of it. It's overkill for what my current build can probably. I just wanted a little more juice, not a lot more juice that's being held back by everything else. So I don't fucking.
Right.
I don't know.
You're
I don't
right.
know. That's
You're right.
That's my
It's
final
crazy.
thought. I'm thinking about
It's
it.
crazy.
It might be a world where I just can't play everything I want to play, which because of the Xbox's Microsoft's motto, I've been eating good ever since I traded my shit and when Scalebound got canceled. I've been eating good. It's like it don't matter. I could be an Xbox fan on PC, like Phil said.
My
PC prices
decision
are
to upgrade my graphics card is going to probably hinge very much upon whether or not Stalker eventually works, but I'm going to give it some time. Because patches.
What's a friendly price? Tell me, Tack. What are you saying? What's the great
And also,
upgrade for
everybody's like telling me to wait for the 50 series because not because they think I should get a 50 series. It's because they think
right around the corner. It's going to cost you.
Everything's going to drop in
fucking
price.
4 figures, but just wait around the corner. Like,
all right.
You're
Crispy,
fine, Nick. I don't think you need to be upgrading. I would get a fucking PS Pro before I upgraded my graphics card. You have a good one.
Brad, you give me a budget and I will build something for you that's
you
good
motherfucker. Are you not listening to me?
On the cheap.
Okay. $150.
Dang.
Tell me how to upgrade my PC to better run Avowed for $150.
Give me your specs.
Okay.
Challenge accepted. Okay. All right.
I can
Crispy.
find the shit. I just can't decide if it's worth it. Okay, go ahead.
Crispy, what's your final thought?
I don't fucking have thoughts anymore, man. I don't know. I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5, as I've been saying, for a while now. And honestly, I gotta tell you, up to this point, it's been pretty great. It's been pretty cool. One thing I think that is probably going to come up when I actually talk about it is it just kind of like runs off a cliff, huh? Like,
oh, man.
It's like, where is this going?
Like,
and plummets.
Like, damn, dog. Like,
I don't remember what the cliff was.
I've also been, like watching not Metal Gear Solid 5 specifically, but like Metal Gear retrospectives and stuff about.
Been going down the
Peace
rabbit
Walker, because like Peace Walker is, I think, the only mainline one that I've never played. Yeah, it just seems like there's a bunch of really cool content that was made for this game that didn't make it into the game. And yeah, I don't know. But I'll actually talk about that once I have like footage and have played more of it and can speak with some authority. But even if the rest of my time with it is disappointing, the like 60 or so hours, 65, I don't know how many hours that I've put into it right now have been fucking sick. And like, the more I play it, the sadder I get.
Well, that's sad.
The sadder I get.
But I mean, are you sad also because like Metal Gear is donezo?
That's why I'm sad. It's like, we're just not gonna get another, yeah.
Hey, if Silent Hill can come back,
Metal Gear
can come back.
No, it's not going. It's not going to come back in a way that matters. It's not going to come back in a way that is like cool or fun. I mean, I am excited about 3 Delta. Like, I'm going to play the shit out of that. But
yeah,
I don't know. Like, what? I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know. I'm excited about Death Stranding 2, though.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
I can't wait to be playing Death Stranding 2 at the same time as Crispy, because that just wasn't an experience we had for Death Stranding 1. But Crispy is like all the way in now, and that's
I'm up in it. Like,
down to the hilt, as they.
Like, I am fucking ready. I'm ready.
Cool, fantastic. Looking forward to it. Chris Davis.
Hi.
Final thought.
Final thought is an oldie but a goodie.
I know what you're gonna say.
Fuck you, Ubisoft.
That's not what I thought you were gonna say.
Well, I can talk about my house, but Brad doesn't want me to. He'll just leave the call.
Your whole apartment behind you is packed up.
Let's
so
hear about it. Did you go with like a subway tile in the kitchen?
Shut the fuck up, Brad.
I don't even know what the subway tile is. No, fuck you, Ubisoft. They decided to reveal this evening that they're having X-Defiant shut down. And as a result, they are shutting down the production studio in San Francisco. Their Sydney, Australia team is ramping down. And it's expected that the Osaka team is going to be laid off too. Stephen Taylor reporting 177 layoffs. Half the team has been moved to other projects. And Ubisoft had, quote, hoped it would compete with Call of Duty, but recently was denying shutdown rumors amid declining player numbers. No fucking shit. You spent like 7 years making this fucking COD knockoff that had 3 different identities between various stages of development, and no one ended up giving a shit because it's not Fortnite, it's not COD, it's not what people are familiar with and enjoy. So, fuck you for laying all these people off.
On a kind of a related note, I have a coworker he's one of the few coworkers I have that like talks about video games or whatever. So like every once in a while we're like, hey, so, what'd you play this weekend? And he always hits me with like the most unexpected shit. But last week he was like, oh man, I played X-Defiant all weekend, and I was like,
you fool!
What? I was not expecting that. Just thought that was kind of funny. Not in light of this is awful news. But I had not even thought about that game until he said that. So,
you get to break that news to him tomorrow when you talk.
I'm sure he's aware. Because maybe that was even part of maybe that's even what inspired him to go in there and actually play it again. I don't know.
Evidently, they were selling like a ultimate founders pack for people that pre-ordered the game and wanted to get early access to stuff. And Ubisoft, to their credit, is refunding people who bought those packs. Oh, but by the way, you've got to wait 8 weeks for you to get your refund. So, yeah. Thanks, Eve.
Yeah, it's pretty lame. Also, X-Defiant, terrible name. But that doesn't mean it deserves to be shut down. But like, it's just one of those like in one ear, out the other kind of names.
Hey, speaking of Ubisoft, I don't mean to hijack, but like this is also the other game that I've gone back to. Besides Dragon's Dogma 2, is I finally am going back to continue playing Prince of Persia and Lost Crown. Who here has finished that game?
Shut the fuck up, Brad. I feel like you're just baiting me.
Is it just you, Nick?
Yeah, I think so. I think Ed played it. I think Ed finished it.
Okay, but you did finish it, right, Nick? You're just a hater about the art style. Well, I'm not even going to talk about
not
that.
Even
That's just
a fucking hater, you
crazy
bitch.
thing to say. But like that game is like legit fantastic. That is a fantastic game, and Ubisoft also like shut down that studio, which was the Rayman. That was like the Rayman Legends Origins studio. Like they made incredible shit, and this was an incredible Prince of Persia game, and it's on it's out on everything. Yeah. It's like discounted for the season, I think. Like people should buy and play that game. It is fucking good, and it's huge
send a fucking message
as a Metroidvania. That game is so fun to play, like in all aspects: the combat, the platforming, puzzle solving. Like it is an exceptionally well made Metroidvania. It really
easily
is
the best Prince of Persia game in the past.
Okay, well, that means literally nothing.
Long.
I mean, I guess we did get 2 Prince of Persia games this year.
It was a big nothing sandwich of a statement. I apologize.
You know what's funny? So like they've released like free skins or whatever and shit, like content for the game. And I went into the skins and I noticed I had a lot more than I did when I first started playing at the beginning of the year, including like they have like a classic like a Sands of Time costume or like an old Prince of Persia costume. There's some without his like kind of dumb hair or whatever. So I'm kind of like vibing with those. But they have a purple prince in there. Specifically, they added into the game when Prince of Persia Rogue came out. And it's funny because it makes him purple. But everyone hated that so much that the dev in their recent huge update made him not purple. But in Lost Crown, you could still play as the purple prince from Prince of Persia Rogue. And that's kind of funny. He's purple. It looks very strange.
But it wasn't like the main character, just the main character though. Like they did a huge art pass, right?
Yeah. They completely did like a huge art
In
pass.
fact,
and
we
a lot
watched
of
the
other
trailer.
content.
We watched the trailer for that during
sad.
trailer talk.
Yeah, we did. It's sad because I don't think that game is really performing like Lost Crown didn't, but I guess. But Ubisoft, I mean, what trash fucking publisher to kill? Like, I mean, it's big Hi-Fi Rush energy like from last year. You don't. They put out a critically acclaimed game at the beginning of the year. Everyone loves it. Good vibes. Prince of Persia's back, and they're like, no, not good enough for us.
Do we think that Sands of Time remake is ever going to actually see the light of day?
Because money. I mean, they've been rebooting that, but like at this point, who gives you like why even release it?
If they're like closing studios responsible for new, fresh, original Prince of Persia games that are reviewing really critically, I don't think why even bother putting the effort into developing and launching this Sands of Time? They're just going to close that studio after that game comes out.
Well, I think, and this is really going to sound fucking morbid, but I think they're just running out of studios they can afford to close, and instead what they're doing is just disbanding those teams and reprioritizing where they go. So
it's like an Activision thing, right? But people end up they say they do that, but then people are like, okay, well, I can't move to another country, so I guess I'm out of a job. It's all horse shit when companies do this. We disbanded the team. I'm like, no, you closed the studio and people lost jobs.
You disbanded a team and then gave them an ultimatum and they said no.
That made like really good, unique shit. Like that's the thing. They were good vibes back when they were releasing these Rayman games and other like cool, smaller projects that everyone loved. And
it's a bummer.
Geez.
It's a fucking bummer. All right, my final thought. I'll bring this home.
Oh, someone say. Okay.
Wait, say
continue.
what?
No.
What do you want me to say? What do you want me to use my 4-player minute on?
Continue.
Look, I just wanted to briefly mention that. I mean, I've mentioned it once already on the show, but like I've spent more time this past week trying to troubleshoot and get Stalker 2 running on my rig than I have spent playing Stalker 2. But the good news appears to be that the issue at hand is really nothing to do with like my machine. It's more to do with the optimization of the game itself, and that this will likely just be fixed in time with patches. There was a huge patch today, and I'm hoping against hope that it's going to do the trick. I just need it to run without hitting one of those memory leaks, because that's what's killing me. And in fact, my machine, when you use like the NVIDIA thing to like optimize the settings, or whatever, for my machine, it's defaulting to like epic settings on almost everything. And when it's running great, like it's beautiful. It's just the memory leaks end up bringing it all crashing down around me, which super fucking sucks. So I'm really hoping that today's patch or a future patch fixes that issue, and I can finally go all in on Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl, because I think it has really good chance at being one of my favorite games of the year. However, the fact that I haven't been playing that means I've been spending some time going back to games that I do need to get back to. I am playing Metaphor ReFantazio again. I did go back and jump back into Star Wars Outlaws, which was my most anticipated game of the year for a long time, and that game has been patched a few times. And I feel like I've kind of finally found my flow in that game, and I'm really enjoying it. So there are upsides to not being able to play Stalker 2 at the moment, so I'm trying to focus on those. So we'll see where we stand next week.
Can I ask a question, Chris Davis?
Yep.
Is Fantasy Critic tallying your points from Anton Blast yet? Is it out yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
It is out. So you do have the points from Anton Blast. Double check that.
Yeah. I see him right now.
Okay.
I've got it open right here.
Okay.
All right.
And Anton Blast just went up 1 point. So it's an 87.
Damn.
I will
right.
say I'm kind of entertained by the fact that there's a review that came out this evening. Let me get it here. A Portuguese review from a website called Pizza Fria, and it gave the game only a 7.6.
You're goddamn right. I mean, I'm not. Look, I'm not. Obviously, I love Pizza Tower, and it is a loved game, and it doesn't need more glazing. But like, it's not about Pizza Tower. I played the Anton Blast demo, and I was like, this is just kind of mid. This is from me playing that demo because I had considered drafting it, earlier in the year before I filled up. I don't know, man. I'm glad it's getting some decent scores, but it's no fucking Pizza Tower. It's breaking blocks in the foreground and the background. I hate that background shit. I don't know. Whatever.
Okay. Let me wrap this up.
Let
me wrap this up. Guys, this is our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, we record these live every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central on Twitch and YouTube. Please join us there. But more importantly, if you want to jump into the community, be a part of the conversations, join us in Discord, as Crispy so lovingly mentioned at the beginning of the show. Discord.gg/4Player is the place to be. We're hanging out all the time, talking about games, making friends, talking about movies and stuff. Shout out to the people in Discord that have been kind of genuinely trying to help me with my Stalker 2 issues. That's another reason I love Discord. There's always somebody there to kind of help you with things like that. So we'd love to have you. If you do decide to join, pop into that introductions channel. Let us know, introduce yourself. Let us know who you are and tell us what you're playing right now. We always love to hear that shit. And of course, you can find all of our podcast episodes on the podcast service of your choice, or you can find us on 4playernetwork.com. But we'll be back next Tuesday with another show. In the meantime, guys, be good to each other, play video games, and good night.
Anton Blast certainly has a look. I feel like that's helping it. But I mean,
looks like a bitch. Sorry.
I don't know. Maybe I needed more variety in that demo.
There might be a lot more that we just don't know about that you got to play the main game for.
That's possible. Possible. But Pizza Tower is like an all-timer instant classic. It's like the Hollow Knight of Wario likes, and then they just released and like Anton Blast is like a like a blasphemous. No, I don't want to say that. Like a Death's Gambit or something. And I'm like, okay, but like, did you just see Hollow Knight? I mean, that's cool, but like, Hollow Knight, dog. Why? I mean, I guess I could play this because it's, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm glad.
Are we
Death's Gambit is getting decent reviews, but
are we now being honest with ourselves and saying that Hollow Knight is not gonna shadow drop before the end of the year?
That would be funny. I did try to trade it to Carlos. I think we were talking about this last week, just for like the chance that, for the narrative, right? For the spice, but not even that's happening. So like, if it did get shadow dropped, I would just have like an even more absurd score, and that would be silly.
But it would be kind of part of it would be
funny. I'm going down with the ship. It was funnier when I thought earlier in the year, I was like, oh, I'm going to go down with the ship, as if it was sinking, and I was going to hang on to Silksong no matter what, but now it doesn't even matter, which is kind of, like I'm saying, the narrative for the rest of the year is kind of boring. So I wanted that potential spice, but whatever.
Brad, earlier
about Zero Skies. I'm just, it's mostly, I'm glazing Pizza Tower partially, and I just thought the demo was kind of whatever. I'm surprised by the score. To me, it just seemed like a cool indie game with a cool look. Honestly, but I don't know. I'm glad people like it.
Brad, just this.
I know. It's just funny. It's funny because Pizza Tower is such a specific. There's not a lot of games like Pizza Tower. It was a very crazy, epic homage to a very specific thing, and it's funny that another indie dev made such a similar thing, a game like Wario Land 4. Like even like the down to the details. So it's funny that it's like comparing Infamous to Prototype back in the day. You know what I mean? They're always going to be talked about together, and one is always going to be better than the other, and it's not fair, but it's funny, and that's why I'm talking about it. So leave me alone. Pizza Tower at home is funny. At home jokes are funny. That's why I say them. Well, the good ones are good.
The good ones are good. How deep?
The format's getting a little.
Sure.
Brett, I just wanted to say I was thinking about it. I think it's funny because earlier when you were telling me about Malia reading the Dexter news and I started to say something, the words that were about to come out of my mouth were, I'm almost offensive. I'm almost offended that you're letting your wife get your news about Dexter from anyone other than myself. And then,
well, I talk to my wife more than I talk to you, Nick.
I know. I know.
I don't really pop into your Dexter channel in Discord.
You should, damn it.
But
I do think it's funny because it came back around.
All right, guys, I'm out. I hate you.
Peace
all.
out. I love you.
No.
I got to put that kind of karma out in the world. I'm sorry. I love you guys. You're great.
All right, I'm gonna maybe go play some Metaphor before I go to bed.
We should do some D&D over the holidays.
Actually, Nick,
I'm just kidding. Go to bed. Don't go to bed.
You're not going to play.
I just got the 2024 version of the Player's Handbook. I'm ready to go.
One shot.
Ready to play.
I mean, instead of a fucking multiplayer game that we only play once in our lives, let's just do a one shot, man.
I ordered some dice, Crispy.
You what?
I ordered some dice.
Peace out, guys.
What does that mean? What does that mean for a guy like you? What does that mean?
Critical Role had some really good dice on sale, and that's why I ordered some.
So you're just going to have dice now. That doesn't mean anything other than you're going to...
I am more prepared than I was to participate in Dungeons & Dragons.
Okay, that's such a... Good.
Well, I'll think about it. All right. Good night.
Good night.
Goodbye. Good night and good luck.
Yeah. All right, chat. That's it for me. Next time you see me, I won't be here. I'll be in my house. So, y'all have a pleasant evening. I have to go close on my house tomorrow.